It's great start to the podcast, guys.
Yeah.
It hasn't started
Sensible, reasonable, timekeeping.
yet.
I was late. Which camera are we
Haven't
looking at?
started. Like, what are you
All of them.
doing?
I think we have started.
Oh, we have.
I think we have.
No, you have to say
Started
it only
recording.
starts. It only starts when you say, "Welcome to the capsule."
I don't like the way you do it.
Welcome to the capsule anniversary. Welcome to the capsule anniversary.
No, because the capsule anniversaries are the year.
True.
Isn't it a year?
No.
Another year?
Well, we missed it.
What do you say for every 100?
I don't know. That's what.
100th
we'll
anniversary.
Can you say it backwards?
Anniversary 100.
You just replaced them.
Welcome to the 200th anniversary.
Anniversary.
Yeah, why does versary have to be in
And
it?
why is it arrayed? Like, why?
Because it's like you don't just say happy anniversary.
You're
you
right.
say happy anniversary.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the capsule. This is episode number 200.
Yeah! Fucking got him to do it! He's not listening! He's resisting!
What? So, guys, if you are listening and not watching, we thought we couldn't do the 200th episode without the OG cast of the capsule.
The classic crew.
These are the people that from day one helped us to build the podcast and were on the early episodes. Were on probably out of everyone that's ever done the capsule. These four have been on the majority of the episodes. Some of the most classic episodes, some of the best episodes. I said it. So yeah, we have in the house from your right to your left and my left to your right. Stage left. Tally, theatre, Lion Witch in the Wardrobe. So we have Abe.
What's going on?
TBC.
And Abe and Lee are lapel mic'd up to give them
Where are the
freedom.
buttons?
The buttons, we can't, we need headphones for And that's Abe. We also have Chanel Tally Fergus. Chanel Fergus.
What was your one? And young to the tally.
Yeah.
Was that one, right?
Something like that, yeah.
And that's on you, babe.
We've already done that, Jen.
Yeah, but I'm bringing it back.
So then we have Jenny.
Woo!
What was Jenny's on?
Jenny Lou.
It's some.
What was Jenny on?
What was Jenny's thing?
Is it
Jenny?
Jenny in a bottle?
Oh, Jenny!
Was it?
No!
Wasn't it Jenny from Forrest Gump?
Jenny?
Yeah.
Good memory, yeah.
Wow.
What's it?
Jenny? Yeah, something like that.
I don't remember that.
Jenny Lou, who spent most of her time behind the camera because most of the time she couldn't be bothered to get
In front of the
makeup
camera.
on and
But
do her hair.
Look at me when I do.
Wow!
Oh, yes.
Beautiful Herman.
And we have Lee Ricochet Putman
Woo!
on the
Hi.
end, on the far end, on your left, the sexy guy with the long hair.
You didn't have one, did you?
I don't think so.
No, we didn't.
No.
We didn't build one for Lee.
You didn't have a button.
What would Lee's be?
Would it be Lee or Ricochet? Would it be Lee?
I think Lee would be easy because I found like stuff from pop culture, so like Lee would be easier to find a little soundbite from.
Has to be Rush Hour.
Oh!
Was
See? Because the guy's called Lee, so there's probably a billion of him saying.
How is it?
Yeah.
Which one's called Lee?
Check.
Which one do you think?
Asian one.
Which one do you think?
Black guy.
Lee L.I.
I don't see colour.
Okay.
Maybe you should.
So yeah, we thought we'd do a
Yourself.
Oh, and I'm Luke.
Luke! Yay!
Reason for the season.
Haven't missed a fucking episode in 200 because it wouldn't happen. The episodes I have missed didn't happen. Hard facts. So for people that are tuning in via your headphones, these are the people here. You'll have to imagine all the facial expressions and such. We also have Leisha in the house. What up, Leisha? Rare Collective, who is helping us with the production side of things today, taking on the Jenny Lou job, the Sophia job, and now it's the Leisha job. Also, shout out to Sophia, who is one of the key people that helped us build these episodes, was in the house. I feel like we developed her as a person. Like
Sophia!
She built her character having to deal with you guys.
Wow. And what about dealing with you?
No, I'm a
If that
fucking pleasure.
doesn't-
Do you remember when she went to go see Magic Mike?
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
just
That was a mistake, her telling us that.
Wow.
So, what else to say? Yeah, we hit 200 episodes, which is quite a lot of episodes.
Wow.
So we thought we would do a celebration one for you. And yeah, people that tune in by the headphones, it might be worth tuning into the video one for this, but you know, do what you want to do. It's up to you how you want to consume your content. First of all, just a massive thank you to everyone that has tuned in over the last 200 episodes in 3 years. It's been a fucking absolute pleasure to create content for all of you. The feedback has been, I can't do this for that long. The feedback has been more than I ever would have anticipated, like people coming up and talking to me about stuff or saying things that they like or how they listen to the pod. It's been really lovely. And especially with you four as well, like there's people that are like, oh, I love when Lee's on the pod because it's like this, or I love when Tally's on the pod because it's like this, or blah, blah, blah. And like,
And what did they say about me?
so then with Abe, they say, no. No, but like there's different dynamics between the five of us, and I feel like there's people have come up to me as much as they've said about the pod in general or the capsule. They've also said about specific guests, which for me is super cool because it means they actually are like listening to full episodes and stuff, not just consuming the clips. So yeah, thank you guys for everyone that tunes in. There are the loyal listeners I know that listen every week without fail. Some people catch up in order, even if they, like the events that we're talking about are like 3 weeks ago, they're still listening in order and making sure they don't miss an episode, which is lovely. So massive shout out to the loyal listeners, to the people that tune in now and then, to the people that have only ever, if this is your first time ever listening to an episode of The Capsule, actually I feel like this is probably the best episode to listen to.
Hell yeah, man.
Because this is like,
absolutely, yeah.
this is core Capsule. Like the interviews are nice, all the other stuff is nice, but this is like the heart
is
of what we
Capsule,
do.
yeah,
This is
yeah.
The Capsule.
This is
Whoa.
BCE.
This is Art Attack.
I
don't know.
Yeah.
I'm never going to beat Tally. I'll
that-
give up.
It's not a competition.
Yes, it definitely is.
I did leg day, so.
Are you still holding up your legs? I can't do that.
Only reason I'm committing is because of pure ego.
Guys, I started at the gym.
He's out of the club! He's gonna work! He's resisting it!
Wait, you said that all as if my health has been an issue that has been talked about behind my back. That was a lot more than I would have
I
anticipated.
just had a tiny sip of coffee.
Uh-oh.
coming off.
And I was
Yeah, I
going
started
anyway.
Paola,
Already?
the whacker.
I saw you doing a
Yeah.
lunge with the
Oh, that
with
shit.
the
weight.
rotation.
She's
Yeah,
way
yeah,
harder than
yeah,
I thought. It turns out I'm not strong in any of it. I thought she was like, oh, we're going to start with these squats and then we're going to do this. And then there was a few that I was like, oh no, but these I'll be stronger than the last one. I was not.
What is it like? Is that like play? Is that
Plyometric? Yeah, she did that one, and then there was one where it's like I was like jumping side to side with a medicine ball, and it's like she was like showing me stuff that she was, because I kept landing with my foot turned in, like the one that I was landing on, and she was like, "You're gonna hurt yourself."
dangerous,
Yeah,
yeah.
so she's like, "Do that." As soon as I put my foot straight, I couldn't keep my balance. So I was landing like
Really?
wobbling. So I was like, "I am not strong in it," and she was like, "Because your foot is turned like how it's supposed to be. Now it's showing your core strength because you can't make up for it." And then my core strength was like,
Oh my god.
Weak as fuck.
yeah.
Shit, I really want to try it, but I also don't want to stop doing this.
Oh, literally right now you want to try it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do it.
You're so down for the silliness today.
But I just did it for it was a comfortable
Same.
thing, and then everything
Yeah,
lifted,
same.
and I was like, it's not a competition. We
It's
did it.
insane how you're just like calm. doing
Yeah.
I think it's short legs, like I'm
Yeah.
sat way back, so
Yeah,
like where
yeah,
the
yeah.
weight is distributed
That's
is
why I
not.
didn't.
Interesting.
I was sat too far forward.
Nice wheel.
No, that's the
Started
opposite
shaking
of what I
immediately.
said.
How are you guys? How's things? How's life? What you been up to? How's your...
Why is everyone looking at me?
Just
I don't
as
know.
you know,
Just 'cause,
an
yeah.
order.
You're the first on
I'm
this
good.
I've
Life's
lost
good. Yes. You gave up.
You were just signing
Only really
autographs
cared
at
about
your
being
premiere.
Yes, I was in Florida. Was I in Florida? Yeah,
Yes.
Florida and Tampa.
Work
Yo,
or play?
How long for?
work. I was
it's
there
fun.
for a week. The food is so much better than here. bro.
Really?
So much. Well, meat.
Is that because of sugar?
Meat.
Yeah.
Probably because
Yeah.
of salt and sugar
And fat.
Yeah.
and fat.
And
yeah.
portion
And
size.
portion.
And taste.
The portion size wasn't that big. Portion size wasn't that
And
big.
ingredients.
But I had a brisket.
Ooh.
What's a brisket?
It's like pulled.
Like
Beef.
Pe-
Like slow
beef.
cooked.
Yeah, slow cooked pulled beef. Yeah,
Pulled.
in like
Pork beef.
You know when it's like almost
Like
like
shredded.
shredded.
pork beef. That's not
So
a
it just
thing.
like comes apart.
It's like shredded. Yeah.
Oh, so
it's
they
really
don't mean
soft.
physically pulling the meat off.
Actually,
the
they do. Yeah, no,
Oh.
not the way they cook it, but
Well,
like,
everyone-
have you ever had like Mexican food where it's like, or like,
Like
you know, the
duck.
taco is like tortilla. They have the way they have the pork is like.
Stringy.
It's like-
Too many people.
It was
Attack the senses. Stop.
yeah, like what? You know when they pull it like duck? What?
Like duck in pancakes, the way
Yeah.
that's that
Duck in
shredded thing.
pancakes.
You never had Chinese food before?
Duck when you have Chinese food, you roll it
Oh,
in the
didn't we
pancake.
do? Didn't we do that at that restaurant that we went to?
We've,
And we had
been,
little-
we've been friends for 17 years. Which
That's
restaurant?
true. Most recently, when we went shopping in Oxford Street. Sorry, you had a brisket.
Yes. How was Tampa?
It was good. When did we go shopping?
will
in
never
Oxford
get
Street?
through
We went to a
any
Chinese.
topics.
And you bought the things that aren't those, the black and white ones.
We went to a Chinese.
Yeah, well, not a Chinese. A
Chinese?
Chime.
Stop doing
No,
that.
the place where you took us.
Oh!
Can we have a
The
pancake
spot.
then?
Let's not blow it all up on the podcast. You didn't have a pancake.
Oh,
Abe
no,
is
we
so protective over this
Yes, I
restaurant.
am.
It's not called. We're gonna bleep that part.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking hate it when podcasters do that because I'm like, what are they talking about? Yeah. You're doing it to yourself.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to do this.
We went to
Alicia, I've got a favour to ask you.
Have you been?
I have not.
I'm not showing that.
Stop
was
saying.
Tampa.
Tampa was good. Tampa was great. Tampa was fun.
bring it
I bought this pillow called a TRTL pillow. You don't have to bleep that out because this will help. Yeah, you know it.
No.
Okay, I'll see how excited I got.
Think exactly right, and then
But it's not like
Because Tampa, just travel. Like,
yeah,
just
but it's
Oh.
not one of those pillows. It's like it's curved like this.
right.
For all the video,
showing the
audio
graph
listeners,
there.
yeah. For all the audio listeners, it's like a inverted C, and you can pop it wherever you want on your neck / jawline, right?
Yeah.
And then you wrap it around you. It's like a scarf that you wrap around you, and then I just like slept on the plane like that.
Oh,
But like all my weight was
did
like
you?
this, so I could see
send us pictures.
sitting up. Yeah,
We can put them in the pod.
yeah.
If I'm gonna edit, I might as well edit more.
It's just it's a backwards C.
Yeah,
Inverted
inverted.
C.
Oh.
Chaos.
Fuck's sake.
So I literally didn't hear anything after you said inverted C.
So Tampa was good, and you bought a pillow, and you
Yeah.
had a brisket. That's the main.
That's how
takeaway.
you've been.
Yeah, I had a brisket. And
What
I
were
had
you there for? Since 2022,
I had breakfast. I had brunch at the spot, bruv. They
Ponderosa?
did. They did.
What's it called? Ponderosa?
No.
Okay.
Why is Sean
Ponderosa.
Paul on the bank?
It's a restaurant in
Ponderosa.
Florida.
On the bank. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Stop banging on the furnace.
Okay, that was Irish for one. Stop banging on the furnace.
Oh fuck me! What you doing banging on the furnace?
Oh, these blood clouds. So I went for brunch and I had a creme brulee French toast.
Ooh.
What's creme brulee?
Not for me. It's not for breakfast.
It's like kind of it's a dessert. It's a bit like custardy, but then there's a hard top that you crack, like they
Fair.
burn sugar.
They glaze
Still,
it,
that
yeah.
sounds sweet.
It is. And I had a frozen
break-
Wait, we
banana
can't do two
colada.
conversations because they only can listen to one.
Yeah, they can. They can replay it. It's replayability.
Nice.
It's like you will listen once to one podcast.
They can like.
Two podcasts in one.
Did you ever like back in the day, like with aux leads, take it slightly out so you
Yes.
could hear?
Outside and in your headphones.
Wait,
No.
outside and in your.
No, that's not what I meant.
Only certain sounds.
I thought it's like you. How was that?
It's like different channels, like different audio
Yeah,
channels.
same.
Anyway, fuck Tampa, bruv. Tally, what you been up to, man?
What you been up to, Tally? Lying in a witching in a wardrobe.
That.
That was
Just
it.
that. I
Taking
got
over
back
life.
from Leeds on Saturday.
Oh, did you take it on tour?
Yeah, it's on tour from last week until March 26th.
Line with the
I mean, it's not me. I'm not going. But it comes here. It comes to Sadler's in the summer. So
We should have done a bingo card.
especially good from the side.
I knew the mustard
Especially
thing was
good
going to come
from
up.
the side. Yeah, it comes here in the summer. That's fun. And then I did it's a thing.
Oh no.
It's not a competition. It's just a thing that I do sometimes. And then I did something in Chichester prior to that. It's been a theatre tail end of the year, which
Is that a good thing? Are you enjoying it?
Yes and no. But I did Our House at East London
Yes.
Dance yesterday,
Jinx.
which
Our
is a
House.
tail end of the week. Yeah, it's like the takeovers that they do at ELD.
Remember AIM did one?
Yeah.
They had a whole week. And
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
There's it more.
So that was a nice thing to come back to, and like I've got a few things before I stop for the year, but it was nice to come out of Theatreland back to a thing that has a bit more fulfillment attached to it.
Was
you
that
might
a
say.
tally thing? Was that an III thing?
No, that was like she was hired to teach for another.
For someone
hour.
else's
right,
takeover?
okay.
Yeah, I got to do an II session, then a choreo class. So yeah,
Sick.
best of both.
Sick.
But outside of work, I'm really well. I'm good.
She's thriving.
Well,
Oh.
I'm planning to thrive.
Yay.
Strategizing
Oh,
so
yeah.
that I can thrive.
Not yet thriving.
Not yet
but about to
thriving.
be.
Yeah.
Sick. Genevieve?
Well, don't skip yourself.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
stop
No.
skipping yourself. Stop doing that.
Oh,
Wait,
God.
should we
Don't
save you till
do
last?
Damn
Because
it.
you're the host.
Yeah.
Yeah, save it till last. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're special.
Well, I have to think of something exciting.
Genevieve?
I went to Tampa. I had a brisket.
What's the
Got
best?
an inverted C pillow.
Yeah, Genevieve.
Yeah, I'm good. I've been quite busy, lots of producing. So I worked on Dance Umbrella Festival. I'm now working for Rambert.
Would it be an episode of the podcast if I didn't do that?
Just hold it. Fistful away.
Festival away.
What's Rambert? Sounds fancy.
It is actually.
It's
very
like a
fancy.
really
Too close.
well-known dance company. It's based in London, but it's like, I mean, it was historically a ballet company, and now I guess it's more like contemporary based. But you might have seen like they're doing a Peaky Blinders theater show, like a dance.
Is
show.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, dance show.
Yeah. Peaky Blinders, the redemption.
What the
stage.
fuck, mate?
I think it's probably that.
But I'm working as a project producer for a collaboration that they're doing with La Horde,
Oh, ouais.
which
Try and say that.
La Horde.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty good.
On dit comme ça.
they're a collective from France
Ouais.
and artistic directors of Ballet National de Marseille.
Oh,
Go.
Wow.
Wesh, mon gars.
Believed it.
So working on
That actually
that,
was something.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Well, that's why I believed it.
Wesh.
working on the Capsule, working with Max Ravel on his
Silky
new
Boogie?
ensemble piece. Yes.
This
So
boogie so silky.
that is correct. And yeah, so just working on all of that and not really having a life outside.
Cool.
That's not true. You go to the gym
That's
and
true.
you do BJJ.
That's true.
You still BJJing?
Yeah, still
Sick.
BJJ.
How is it?
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
I still like get dominated most of the time, but yeah, good.
You
Slowly
tap anyone out
improving. Yeah,
Have you?
tap people out. Yeah,
What's your favourite way to tap people out?
rear naked choke.
Is it?
Do it again.
Squeeze them in.
But are you going to do some competitions or what?
Yeah, I want to, but I really get a rush of like, I understand how guys feel because it's like for so long, because it's mostly all men in the class, and the sheer difference of like weight makes such a big difference when you're grappling with somebody, that whenever I manage to like
Tap one of them
submit somebody, or like if I have somebody in a choke and they submit, I'm like, yeah, fucking little bitch. Like, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's why guys walk around the streets like that.
You get testosterone now. It
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah, I get it.
Drinking water while staring him out, just like that. Yeah, you know what I do.
But yeah, no, it's going good. I want to do a competition at some point. Yeah.
And
And what?
say it the fuck out loud. The next thing, BJJ competition and
Oh yeah, well this is all before I'm 35, which is in February. So
you got 2.5 months.
yeah, I have to do like a open mic stand up.
Yeah.
Will you? I'll just ask this calmly. Will you let us come and watch?
She's gonna. Well,
I don't know. I was thinking I might do it in New York because I'm going to New York in January, and I might go.
Expensive night.
Nice.
I might go anonymous, but I don't know. I might do it in London. I just have to do it before I turn 35, or else this whole year will have been a huge failure.
Whoa.
No,
Okay.
that's not
No
true.
pressure.
No.
I thought about doing it too, so that's fine. You go first.
Really? Let's do it the same night.
Yeah.
Please let us all come and watch.
yeah, I'm just
Let's-
Capsule night out.
Please.
Let's go.
Let's do
go.
it the same night.
I just want to
You
let
go
you guys
really
know
soon.
that Lee, when I went to a stand-up comedy night with him, someone was bombing really bad on stage, and as he was bombing in my head, I went, "Oh, this is really bad," and simultaneously Lee went, "This is why we're here."
Well, maybe should say I didn't plan to do an open mic. I planned to maybe do a course of some kind. So you've got more balls than I do.
Yeah, well, just I figured like I just have to jump in the deep end and like do it and go like if I'm gonna bomb, I'm gonna bomb.
Do it.
Please.
Do it.
So yeah, by February, ideally, I mean I don't know if I'll manage a BJJ comp, but I have to do the open mic.
I think you'd be so funny at an open mic night.
Thank you.
Come on.
I'm shitting my pants.
Yeah, naturally, because you're like you have to make people laugh on
Doing
stage
it
in an environment
both,
where
yeah.
they're expecting you to make them laugh. So of course you're gonna be nervous,
Yeah.
but I think you'd be so good.
But I think people also come like to open mics or they come to comedy like willing to laugh.
Yeah.
Like they want to laugh.
Yeah,
It's not
we
a thing
don't-
of like
unless you're Lee. Like you don't want to see someone bomb, but
Yeah, you have to like. If you can win over the audience, you don't necessarily have to be funny. If they like you,
Yeah.
they're gonna laugh way more, even if it's not that funny.
Have you thought about like your comedy style? Would it be like
That's
joke,
what I
joke,
asked
joke,
her,
or
yeah.
like storytelling, or a bit like physical?
I think more storytelling. I don't think I'm like punchline. But like I have a few kind of not scenarios, but a few ideas that I just need to develop because it's like okay, there's something funny in that premise, but there's not necessarily like
a joke.
or the building and like what is the peak of the
How you gonna
joke.
deliver
So it's like
this,
how do
yeah.
you structure it?
Yeah.
So this is one of my goals during the like Christmas holidays to actually spend some time writing.
Who's your
Fun.
favorite comedians?
Oh,
I don't like. This is the thing. I don't watch enough comedy. Also,
That's a great start.
Dave Chappelle's playing in Croydon
in Croydon.
when?
next
Oh, I did
week.
see
It's Dave
that.
Chappelle and
Yeah.
friends though. Isn't it?
Next
It's not
week.
just him.
It's him and Killer Mike.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
Killer
tour.
Mike, yeah.
Sorry, do go on. Croydon.
Next week.
Yeah, that's mad. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck he's doing in Croydon.
I'll be there.
Go.
my favorite comedians. I don't know. Like, I mean, I really like some of Dave Chappelle stuff.
Okay.
I quite like this Canadian stand-up comic, Catherine Ryan. She's like,
She does- she lives-
Did she do a Netflix
yeah,
special?
She does a lot of the panel shows here.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. But I find her funnier. Like, I've seen some of her
ginger hair?
stand-up. No, she's blonde.
Oh,
Short hair.
oh,
Yeah.
I think
Probably-
I know.
I'll show you a
yeah,
picture.
another one.
I know.
Yeah.
Like I find her funnier. I listen to her podcast and stuff, and I find her funnier in interviews and in conversations than her
Then I
actual
stand
stand-up.
up. Yeah, it can be like that with some comedians.
Yeah.
Quite like her. Who else? I mean, yeah, I don't watch enough of it to like really have an informed opinion. I also like some of the more offensive people.
Yeah.
Like, I like Bill Burr.
Yeah.
I like Louis C.K. Controversial. I
Jim
know.
Jeffries,
Yeah.
Australian.
Jim Jeffries
Oh,
was like
yeah,
It's
yeah.
rough, man.
his first one
Yeah.
was like sick. The
Yes,
one where
yes,
he's talking
yes.
about like the gun control thing
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like that first one was really, and then the other stuff it was like still good but just not quite as
Yeah, but it's like even someone I feel like Jimmy Carr.
yeah.
It's like his style is really kind of punchline. Like he's just punchline,
Yeah.
and it's not like I think it works really well for him, but it's not necessarily my favorite style
Yeah.
of comedy.
Okay.
But yeah,
That's
who's your favorite? Who's your favorite?
Well, let's see how Lee's been doing first
How's
before we go
how's
on
Lee's been doing?
a whole new
Oh,
topic.
can I answer that question before I say?
Yes.
So there's this American guy, light-skinned black guy in America, and he's like he does like news reporting, I think, for like CBS or something like this. But he tells like these long-form stories. He used to write for.
Do you know his name?
Is he British?
Like, it's like a double. It's like James Johnson or something like. It's like something really, really simple like that. Like he's got two first names, but it's. I'll show you guys afterwards. But it's just his story. It's like a new Dave Chappelle. He's got really good storytelling, and he
Not the
does.
guy that sounds like he's from Atlanta. He sounds like thingy. Cat Williams.
Or maybe he's like
I'm gonna show
he's
you.
always got a grey hoodie. Yeah, like he's always got a grey hoodie on. He's got like his little locks bunched up. He's got little plait hair, and he's like, but he always tells these stories in like a really thorough way. And he done like but he'll do like 40-minute stand-up sets on one topic.
Yeah.
Did it? Yeah.
He's really good at storytelling.
Don't kill stand-up.
Go on.
Absolutely kill Lewis.
Lewis
Yeah.
would murder it.
Have you met Lewis?
Josh Johnson.
Josh Johnson.
He's like-
That's exactly what I thought it was.
Yeah.
He's sick.
Yeah, he's really
on
good.
that.
Like he's
Yeah,
like
he
the
did
stuff he's talking about
III,
in terms of,
so I
like
had a week with
storytelling.
Yeah.
He does it perfectly. Like, yeah, right.
Sick.
Yeah, I love it.
And how have you been?
How have you been though?
Really good. I went to my son's first parents' evening the other day.
Oh,
Tell us what happened.
What did
It
you
was
do?
so sick. So all right. So when
So
like
sick.
so when I first had Kai, there's like a bunch of other people that had kids as well, right? And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like we're kind of talking about it. And then everyone started bragging about their kids, like, oh, my kid started walking at 10 months. No, well, mine did it 4 weeks before that. Well, mine actually stood up in the womb. And it was like, right? And I got caught up in it, and I was trying to brag as well. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, who gives a shit? Like,
Yeah.
it's not going to change the world like that. Like, all right, just relax anyway.
Stood up in the womb is great.
Right? and then I was like, all right, leave it. Let me just make sure that he kind of turns out how I want it to turn out, right? And I was like, I'm pretty sure he's pretty clever in it. And then he went to nursery, and they didn't say he was clever ever. They just said he's a fucking maniac. And I was like, fair. Like, it's like me, innit? Like, fair.
that tracks.
Right? Makes sense. So, like, they'd done like a little graduation at his nursery, and he was just tearing the place up. And I was cracking up.
What do you mean?
He was just like, him and his mate, Panache, they were just whacking each other with their little, like, they got those fake little paper things, and they took their hats off and chucked them at other kids. And like, all the other parents were looking like this, and I was in the back just knee slapping, just fucking cracking up, just encouraging it. And anyway, so I was like, oh, maybe he's not as clever as I thought. and we went to school in the first week of school, which was September. Like, he came back with 2 stickers, one for inference and one for reasoning. And I was like, oh, so he's like,
doing well.
he's sharp, yeah.
Inference and reasoning.
So
What's inference?
Inference is when you draw a conclusion based on information.
Okay.
So like, I give you a piece of information, you go, oh, so this means that, and then you can give an example of something else. So whenever I
Didn't know that.
Jenny wouldn't get this thing.
So no, I'll say to him like we're reading Harry Potter, and I said, oh, and so and so glanced at this thing, and he goes, what does glanced mean? And I said, oh, it means like when you take a quick look at something. And he goes, did I just glance at you? And I'm like, okay, cool, yeah. So like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And anyway, so like his teacher is like, she's like a black Miss Honey from Matilda.
Cute.
She's so amazing for him. And so we had our parents' evening, and I kind of was hoping that she would say he's really bright. And it basically went, this is where I kind of fell back into that bag of bragging, and I was like, oh, this is too dangerous.
It feels too good.
It felt like she was like, he's just the smartest kid in the class. Like she goes, I have to tell him to let the other kids have an opportunity to answer questions, and he just sits there like that, waiting for someone, and then he goes, can I answer it now? She's like, tell the class, and she was saying basically how good he was doing, and that he remembers everything in great detail, and he comes up at home and tells us about things that she's taught him. It's amazing, and then I asked, I was like, look, like that's cool, but is he good to be in the class? Like, he's a nice kid. And she was like, yo, look, I raise all my kids to be good citizens. And she goes, whoever is going to be his teacher, like, it doesn't matter. He's just going to be a great citizen. And I was like, this is amazing.
Did you cry?
Yeah.
No, I can't cry. I'm physically incapable. But I would have, but instead, I bought him a chocolate yogurt.
And he
A
turned to him and he went,
chocolate yogurt.
you came out of my balls, son!
Who's your daddy?
As in, like, you well up, but they don't fall.
He cries,
Like,
he
what's
can
the
cry.
cusp of, like, what's the
How far does it get?
ceiling?
Yeah.
So like, something really bad has to happen where I'm like, I don't know what's happening, and then I leak.
But not happy to.
But if it's happy, I'm like this. That's really cool.
Fine.
And that's as far as it
It
goes.
goes
Okay.
back to here and you're like, you're the
Oh my god, do you remember that? Are you going to cut like a nice little compilation of like best bits?
That's what from the pod. That's what
Are
Alicia
you
said.
going to
Please.
Are you gonna add
please.
subtitles?
That can be your job. Great idea. You do it.
Luke?
Just give it straight back.
Luke.
Oh, how am I?
How are you?
Stressed. but otherwise good. The capsule is a lot of work.
Yes.
Talk about it. It's fucking easy. Just rock up and talk.
Well, you chose to not just have us chatting rubbish on your couch in Penge. That was a you choice.
Yeah, it really was. And regretting it. Life was easier before. Been good. I started the gym for age gracefully. Because, I don't want to get older and be not able to touch my toes and shit. And also, I'm enjoying dancing more. I've been training more. And even if I don't get through prelims or get smoked, fucking second round, shout out to Gary. I like being a part of the scene and doing stuff. So I'm like, I don't want to get too old to be able to, like, I actually was thinking about Mechanical, like, not that he's old, but like, he's like, I don't know, probably late 40s or something.
I think mid 40s.
Mid 40s, yeah.
I think.
And he's like, still not only active, but like one of the better competition poppers. And it's like, I want to, do you know what I mean? It would be sick to be like his age or older and still be actually, even if I'm like a semi-finalist like here, it's like still giving it to like the young kids. It would be like sick to be able to do that.
I can imagine Mechanical listening to this going,
oh. Like he's celebrating his like 31st birthday. And he's like,
just so up and down.
hold on a minute. No, I'm saying he inspires me. So yeah, just that, and also
Here we go.
and also just being healthy in general.
That was good.
Also, I started French lessons officially. I've been learning French for way too long for the level that my... Is that laughing at my French? No, Mechanical. Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I was like, God damn, you haven't even heard me speak French.
She got
Go on,
tickled.
go on.
Come on, keep it together,
No matter
Danny.
what formation this would have been in, I would have regretted it. You're the problem. So I started with a French tutor, although I need to email her back. Give me a few months and we'll see how my French is.
Have you had your first French lesson with her?
Yeah, I've done 3 now.
What's the structure?
Actually going back to basics,
This is
basically.
the least question.
Yeah.
there's a guy on Insta, I'll send him to you, that he posts up videos saying French slang. Which is really cool.
I think you have sent me it.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah.
He's like
slang.
Noni in his bathroom. Yeah, he's so cool.
French slang.
He's like, apparently French people go wish. Like
Wish.
it's like Wagwan basically, but they
Is
go,
it?
wish. I don't know.
Wish.
I don't know if that's true.
Whoosh.
French?
Is that regional dependent?
Yes.
It is true, and it is French people from France that say that, and it's like it's kind of more like a punctuation than like Wagwan, because Wagwan you would say it just in a certain context of what's up, but Wesh is more like almost like people would say yo, so it's like yo, what's up, or
Yo,
that's fucking
it.
whack, yo. So it's a bit more.
That's
Flexible.
fucking whack. Wish. Like that.
Yeah, kind of. Mostly, yeah.
That got me. That was good. Tickle. So French
That's
lesson.
it. I didn't know you did that.
Yep.
That's why I'm here.
What's the structure?
I have so many holes in my French that we're going back to the very beginning and like doing conjugations and shit.
Are you writing as well?
Yeah, writing, talking, reading, translating.
What are you reading? Are you reading children's
You know,
books?
alright, my French tutor is so fucking cute, I have to admit. I've done 3 lessons, right? And we I'm paying her for the hour of, do you know what I mean, by hour, so it's not like I'm paying you to do extra shit. It's literally just, but I think it was even on the first lesson, the most recent lesson she did this, but she's kind of done it in versions all the way through. But like, I just came back from obviously Dance Your Style in India, and the lesson I had when I got back, she had gone on my Instagram, saw that I was there, went onto like Red Bull's website, found an article that MT Pop had done an interview after he won, translated it all into French, and then gave it to me of like, we'll read this and translate this because it's like, it will be most relevant to you, and like, so we can go through it. I was like, how cute is that?
Sick.
Can I ask?
Yeah.
Not that this should count. How much does she charge an hour?
I'll either bleep it or say it off,
bleep
but
it,
it's
bleep it.
Bleep it,
Okay, we're gonna cut here.
Oh my goodness.
You got to keep that in. That what I mean, I believe it, but keep our reaction. But that's so not. That's incredible teaching methods.
It's not
that's
enough
amazing.
for the hour, let alone the extra work she's doing.
Wow.
But I think because she's quite young, I think she's like a new teacher and she's trying to get
She
experience.
cares a
and
lot
stuff.
as well.
That's
Like,
amazing.
she's passionate.
You should promote her.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, if people want a French tutor, hit me up. But she is. I think she's like on her thing where I found her. It's like it's for people like studying for their GCSEs and shit. So for me, I was like, listen, I don't care. Like I don't have any exams to do anything. I just want to speak, so we can do this as chill as possible. So she doesn't have to like look into anything. She's probably used to having to go and look at the textbooks and shit. For this, she was just I was like, if we just log on and we chat in French for an hour, that's enough for me. So anything beyond that is great. So I think she was like, she's more used to like structured students.
That's
and I'm just
so
like,
good.
and also I'm an adult.
That's like that's
Not
so
enough,
good,
though.
man.
Not
Wow.
enough.
What's your name? Shout out to
Lorien.
Lorien, wish.
Lolo. Got it from the Lolo.
Oh
You
yeah.
have to do it with your face with like this. Where?
And yeah, basically that's it. Rounding off the year, trying to finish off work, and then prep to make the capsule fucking sick and
Come on!
Yeah, there's a lot of plans I have for 2025, but yeah, trying to be a lot more ambitious.
Wait.
Wait.
The coffee's kicking in.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a dream that you went to France?
I did. I went to France twice in a row.
Something effed up, and you spoke in French to get
Yeah,
it resolved.
yeah.
Talk your shit.
Talk it up.
Well, I think I spoke about that on the pod for people that had listened to it, but but I was so stressed. You didn't listen. It's fine. Harry and Lewis went to Paris, and we stayed in Sarcelles. Sarcelles is not the most affluent neighborhood.
Is that one about
The get out.
Yeah, you've been there. But we stayed in Paris and went to Sarcelles. This dumbass was like, "Oh, we'll stay in Sarcelles because it's 3-minute walk from the venue," but there is not that many good hotels in Sarcelles. So we stayed at possibly the worst hotel I've ever stayed at in my entire life. Shout out to them. But I get to
Shout out to them.
you pay on the door, right? So you do the booking, you pay on the door. It gets to the Friday, and I go. There's a theatre night at Battle Bad, so I go to the theatre night, thinking when this finishes at like 9 or 10, I'll go check in. We pay. We're good for the weekend. I get an email just before the half, so I'm like, it's the last act of the first half. Just check my phone. Oh, what's that buzz? Oh, your hotel has been cancelled for the weekend. And I'm like, good. Because Harry and Lewis aren't with me either. They're in the centre of Paris eating. So I went by myself. So I was like, not only have I fucked myself, I fucked all three of us. So, and there was like, even when we booked this, there was like hardly any other hotels in the area or whatever. So then I called them, and then he was like, I was like, do you speak English? And he was like, no.
No, I do not.
And I was like, he didn't say it like that bluntly, but he was kind of like, yeah, but not really, but blah, blah, blah. So I was like, fuck's sake. So I'm trying to communicate to him, like, you cancelled our thing. And he's like, yeah, we cancelled it. But this is all in French. So I'm like, you cancelled our thing, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, we cancelled your thing. And I'm like, no, why did you cancel my thing? He's like, yeah, we cancelled your thing. And I'm like, he's like, yeah, your card doesn't work, so we cancelled it. And I'm like, I just used my card. There's money on it. It works. Like, what's the problem? And he's like, yeah, the card doesn't work, so we cancelled it. I'm like, for fuck's sake. So I'm trying to communicate to. So I'm like, look, if I come to the hotel now, can I pay? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, fucking uncancel the room. And I'm coming.
Offer that solution immediately.
Do you know what I mean?
Please.
So, and this is also like me trying to understand what he's saying in French as well as me saying it to him in French. So then I got an Uber to the thing. Again, still doesn't speak in it. So we're doing the whole thing, and I'm like, the fucking card works, blah, blah, whatever. Paid for the room, sorted it, and then got the Uber back just in time for the second half. So it all kind of worked out in the end. But it was like, this is kind of what I was saying on the thing. It's like having to... Speaking French with Jen is the hardest because we can at any point switch to English. No, but like for both of us, it's like, even for her, it's like, if it takes too long, she'll just say in English, especially in like a normal situation.
He's just getting patient.
No, but it's like, if we have to go somewhere and I'm like...
You're not speaking French!
if I'm like, what time is the bus or something, eventually she'll just switch to English and say it. Whereas like when the guy has no choice, it's like when we were in that weekend with Lemzo in Lille. It's like, if they don't really speak English, I have to find a way.
Yeah, you have to be in a context where you don't have another choice. Really.
And that weekend, like in Paris,
you had no other choice, and it was a matter of life and death.
Okay, well, not really.
I love that you were paying for it. You paid for the room. The guy at the hotel was like, "So, you up to anything, man?"
Yeah.
Yes, bro.
Word. So yeah. Anyway, we'll see. Eventually, I'm going to do a podcast in French. That would be a sick.
That would be great.
Yeah. If I can do a whole interview with a French person in French.
By episode 400.
Okay.
Oh, easy.
Just like casually, don't tell anyone. Just casually, like don't even make a big thing out about it. Just like do an interview and just casually.
Or
just
do
the
one
whole
of
thing.
those like dancer ident things that you do.
What can we
Like,
learn?
what's
about-
good
what
about-
can we learn?
yeah, because then it's shorter.
Okay.
That's a really nice
That is a good idea,
You
actually.
do it about me.
No. But what was I going to say? Yeah, that would be a cool thing to do. Yeah, so we have a few things to look through. Are you guys happy if we move?
Segments!
Yeah,
forward?
please.
Yes.
So I thought
One must leave.
I was very excited. I thought what would be fun, at least to start with, is to watch the section from the very first episode of the Capsule ever, where I spoke. It's like a 5-minute segment where I spoke about what I want the Capsule to be, and then so it would just be interesting to watch it, and then also the setup and my delivery is horrible on this, just so everyone knows. But also to like see what it was and like kind of what it ended up being, and then just chat about that.
Yeah, man. I think I remember what this is, and I think I remember exactly where I was when I watched it.
Oh, where?
I will tell you
He's like
after
having
you
a
play
shit.
it and I confirm.
Alright. Cool. Leisha, would you mind hitting it?
Like-
And then, yeah. And then double click that. Just on the screen. Yeah. Lee, you can look at the screen if you need to.
You can look at the laptop, he said, if you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I
To
wouldn't
the
want to
angle.
just do this.
Oh. Yo. What's up, everybody? Could you turn it up a bit because I don't know how to deliver into a microphone.
This is
Same
a
here.
new thing that I'm doing.
I know.
So first and foremost, let me tell you what the capsule is and what I'm planning on
Just no
doing
intro, straight in.
and what is going to happen with all this. So obviously, as you might already know because you've clicked on this, the capsule will be a podcast. I'm going to try and do every week, and it's going to be based around UK street dance news, potentially media type of things, basically just my thoughts on shit that's going on. So it could be that there's events happening, it could be that there's something noteworthy going on in the world that may
This is me if I've got a serious voice note to send, just doing a voice memo
it
to
could
gather
be
my
that I just have some thoughts and this is my place where I come to air them out. Yeah, it could kind of be a mix of everything on the
So
podcast.
nervous.
I'm
bless
gonna
you.
endeavour to do my
Endeavour?
best to
Okay.
do this every week. Obviously, I work, so it may change when it's uploaded every week, but hopefully every week. I'm going to try and bring guests in if they have something to say or they have some particular relevance to what I'm talking about. I may call people, I may stuff like that basically, but the main thing being that it's based around the street dance scene, and more specifically the street dance scene in London, in the UK, not just London.
You're so cute.
So
Right.
yeah, everywhere.
You
Anything
are, bro.
that's
Just
to
accept the
do
compliment.
with us, basically. So yeah, that's the podcast. I want to make the capsule like an overall platform. So what that means is that we're going to there's an Instagram already, thecapsule.ldn. So go and follow that.
11K
if
followers,
you're
baby.
listening.
Not as good as Lee's
There's
page, but-
also going to be the YouTube, and the Duke London podcast will still be a thing,
No,
and
it
I'm
won't.
still going to interview people, and that will still happen, but it will be on the platform of the Capsule. So you can
that's not
still
what's gonna
find the YouTube channel. It will just be named the Capsule
No,
now.
yeah,
Same with the
that part
Spotify. It's now called the Capsule. This is the platform for all the things that I'm going to do, hopefully to support the UK street dance scene. There's other things I have in mind as ideas. There's things that are in the pipeline already with this platform, but yeah, that's kind of generally it. I don't want to give too much away
because I didn't know what was
also
coming.
because
Had no idea.
what else? Yeah, the Instagram I guess will be a
We seem pumped
place
about it.
where I film pictures, stuff from
Fucking
around
hell,
the
why
scene
did
that I
anyone listen to
document
this
when I'm
podcast?
around. Anyway, I work in that lane as a professional, so with my video and photography work, I will still have the Duke London page. I'm still a professional. I still have my own work, but the capsule will be all the stuff that maybe is from the UK street dance scene, that where maybe I'm not necessarily hired to shoot, but I'm there. I'm just going to document some stuff. I'm going to pick my favorite rounds. I'm going to take some pictures, do some exclusive videos with people, and it will all be for that platform. So hopefully it will be something good and positive, and it will be something that you want to check out.
get angry
If you
about.
want to go and follow that, that would be great. The capsule.ldn. Yeah, and I guess it's like more
You're not,
stuff.
it's not like you're
will
try to
come
be
along,
unbothered.
and,
It's not like you're trying to
there's a
do
lot
too
of
cool.
I'm gonna
potential
explain
for
myself
content
after.
reviews. I wanted, like I did for a breaking convention. If you haven't seen that, I did a breakdown of the acts at breaking convention. Stuff like that. Yeah, I have a lot of ideas with it, but
I've got so much better.
yeah, it will unfold as it unfolds.
Just saying nothing.
Anyway,
That part hasn't changed.
and yeah, if you're interested to work with me on
Just
in-
sweating. You're so nervous.
so that is that. That's what the capsule is. Super quick breakdown. I'd rather show you than tell you too much. I don't want to be one of those people that's this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do. Here's just a
Fuck, if
quick
I knew
breakdown.
we'd be cussing this out when I did it.
Check out the platform, and if I'm doing my job right, you'll see it anyway.
Yeah.
Don't fucking clap for that.
To be fair, you've not, in terms of like being yourself, you were just being yourself. It's just you had a tone of like, I'm gonna do this thing where I like talk every week, and then it came to it, and you're like, I guess I've got to fucking talk to this camera now.
You know what it was
Doing it.
actually? It's like I just was so like now I've got better at it, and you know what's funny is like now I see it in guests sometimes when they come that it's like you're used to having you think, oh, that would be cool to have a conversation, and then you come here and there's cameras and lights or whatever, and you're like people get a bit like not shy but like I'm overthinking what I'm saying. And that's what I was like very aware of, like having a camera in my face. Bearing in mind I'd already done 40 episodes of the Duke London podcast, so 40 interviews.
Oh shit!
And so that makes that even shitter. But
But it's
that was
different
about
talking,
that.
Like it's different on your own and
exactly
talking to camera though.
That's why I was like, oh, I'll be fine. And then I sat down to face the camera, and I was like, no one was home, and I was just like,
I think I'd be
feel so
terrible
stupid.
at that.
It's just weird looking like
Yeah,
at the
I can't do
lens.
it.
Yeah.
It's that like because it gives literally nothing back, and you're like,
Yeah, I can't do it either.
It's weird. Like it's something I've definitely had to practice. But yeah, I was like a bit nervous as well. Just like I don't know what I'm gonna say.
Bless you.
And also, I was kind of in my head. I was like, well, which is still something I think about now. But it's like, am I going to be able to carry the podcast by myself when it's not an interview? I think now I've gotten a lot better at it, and I know how to.
Yeah.
Like the one I did about Red Bull got like 2,000 views, which was cool, and that was me by myself. So I think I've got better at like knowing how to keep people's attention and being a bit more animated.
Also, no, we're giving you gun fingers.
Oh, right.
Fair, mate. Also, you're gonna be on like episode 600. Watch this back and be like,
Yeah, this will be
look how
shit.
fucking shit I am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
true.
True.
How's it feel? You know.
I think I did most of the things I said, or like we've done most of the things that I said on there. The only thing I think is that, which is a good thing, is that it's starting, let's say, this end of this year and into next year. It's like potential is to grow outside of the UK as well.
Come on.
Which is something like, especially talking about Dance Your Style or the Parisian events that I went to. It's
Come on.
like, yeah, there's a potential for that to grow. So initially I was like, I'll be lucky if this is something that is recognised in the UK. So now I'm kind of like, oh, maybe we could...
Have you spoken to so-and-so about...
Oh, not yet,
Okay.
but I want to. That's on the list
Continue.
for January, I think. But yeah, it's like doing external stuff and doing it international. So yeah, at the beginning I was thinking it would be lucky to
to make it recognized in the UK, and now I'm like, okay,
Capsule worldwide.
worldwide, Mr. Worldwide.
Also, can I just say, it's like, I mean, the reason why I was making so many faces while it was playing, it's like, obviously, I think you had an idea of what you wanted it to be, but the way you articulated it was also like, it felt like, you know, didn't want to commit, don't want to say like, I'm doing this, and this is what this platform is going to be. So it's like, it was very like tentative and like, it might be something that kind of does like maybe some coverage of like this maybe kind of thing if I feel like it on the day. But it's like, if you look at like 200 episodes ago of that, and now it's like having partnered with like Red Bull, Nike, breaking convention, doing your own content, and like, you know, also it being something that's part of like the scene and not necessarily just collaborates with organization, but that is like also really rooted in the community and involved there. It's kind of like not emotional, but it's crazy to see how far it's come from you sitting nervous in your living room saying like, yeah, maybe, if maybe, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like amazing to see the journey and, you know, of the vision of the platform, but also, you know, of your skill of presenting yourself and of how you speak to the camera. Like, I was watching this, and in my head I was also like thinking of like the Red Bull Global piece that you just did for them, speaking to a camera and like looking at these things next to each other is like how
Even from when I first did the What Can We Learns, because when I did it with them, it was like me, the videographer, and then the producer was in the room, and I had to like deliver the stuff in camera. And like when I first did the What Can We Learns, I'd done a ton of podcasts, and like but like doing them, and like we spoke about it, like because you do the similar content, but like the thing of like presenting to camera and then be like, so blah blah blah, oh fuck, so blah blah blah, and like having to keep redoing the thing.
It's so funny.
Yeah, and it's like I felt so nervous and embarrassed of like those mess ups. But like when I did that one, like we banged it out like super quick, and I was like, oh, I've actually got better at that type of thing as well.
You're from Watford, bruv.
Oh,
What are we talking about?
In it.
yeah, because you're really good at it as well.
Thanks.
very good at it.
But I think like what you're like another thing I noticed as well is your filming is way better. The lighting, the composition, just like how you frame everything, all of that is improved.
I think the presentation of
the presentation, yes, that all of it.
I remember we used to like watch Bruce at Just a Boo on YouTube.
Yep.
When we had zits on our faces.
Oh.
And then zits. And then you were chatting to man.
Yeah, that was cool.
In
That was a
it.
good one.
I'm talking about what are we talking about, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
You're talking about what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think that's like, say for example with the Bruce one, the pod was cool to do because obviously like we used to watch him from like back in the day, and like obviously Just a Boo is like a staple. But even like some of the guests I've had on, I've had to like not push them, but like they're like, oh, what's this pod thing like? And I'm like, oh, but we're gonna do an interview, and they're like, okay, how does it look like, or you know, a bit like of conversation. And then Bruce was in at Joe. And I said to Andy, Monster, I was like, oh, I'd be sick if he was like, who do you want on the pod? I was like, I'd be sick if we could get Bruce. So he called Bruce, and obviously they're old friends, but he was like, yo, I'm with Luke from the Capsule, like blah, blah. And he was like, oh yeah, I know about the Capsule. Yeah, I'm down to be on, that'd be sick. And it's like, the fact that it's already like the reputation is there.
What are we talking about?
What are we talking about? Let's not just skip that.
What are we talking about?
So Monster Pot, your friend, called up his old friend, Bruce, Mr. Just a Boo himself, right? And said, yo man, Luke from the Capsule. It's like, yeah, cool, I'm cool to be on it.
Yeah, it was cool.
What are we talking about?
And the fact that he was like...
That's very cool.
Yeah.
You're very cool. Well done.
Thank you. You have to force me to accept it.
That's very cool.
No, it was really cool. And like some of the guests have had on have been really cool, but not more special than you guys. That's the main thing.
Also, do you remember Otis Funkmeyer?
Yes.
Yeah, you know, like I remember he like did all
So the
this
white dude with
stuff.
glasses?
Wire.
Otis Funkmeyer.
He's like a YouTuber.
The guy that used to be like, this guy's popping in isolation. The guy that used to like...
Yeah. So he would do that. He'd break down popping battles, and he was a bit of a genius with it. Like
he pissed everyone off at the beginning.
Yeah.
Same. And then and then like the more people watch, they were like, oh, he's actually like...
Yeah, he would have really good analysis of the dancers and communicate in a really effective way. And then I remember he got to a point where he was like, oh, I just want to. He interviewed Bruce, and he was like, oh, that's kind of like the pinnacle of what I wanted to do.
Oh,
and then
really?
And then he just stopped making it and got
Oh,
rid of
wow.
all of his shit. Yeah, and just
That's
deleted
sick
all
if you're Bruce.
Really?
Right? Yeah.
Like someone does something with you and then they're like,
Yeah.
I can die happy.
And he's done like that. But then when I think about the comparison of you, like not just but before Bruce, you look at all the dancers and all the people that we all value in the scene that you've managed to facilitate a space or a conversation for, and it's just not to demean any single conversation, but they are a piece, a part of this massive whole that you're still continuing to grow, which is really fucking cool, man.
And there's so many that I want to do that haven't done yet and stuff. The
Also,
guest thing is really cool.
like later on when we're gone, hopefully there will be people in the scene. Do you know how like we look back at like the guy with the broom? I've forgotten his name.
Yeah.
Like they'll be looking back at like Capsule interviews and being like, oh yeah, this guy was Bruce. He started Just to Do.
Hey!
Sick. It's really nice that they made loads of noise outside the window. That's cool.
Can I just quickly open this gingerbread?
Yeah.
If they're making noise, I think that. But you're right. It will. The people will look back at this and be like, oh yeah, look, this is when he started the blah blah.
And that's kind of what I want also is for there to be like some sort of like record or things, because it's like obviously the interviews will age, but it'd be cool to see Bruce like if we're in the future, like 15, 20 years ago, what he thought about Just Taboo. Like same way we're looking back at this. It's like imagine,
true.
Look, even now, I want to interview Empty Pop again, because when I interviewed him, he was like a promising new, and now he's like dominated everyone for the last 2 years.
Year of MT.
Yeah, it would be sick. Like I really want to have him again. I almost was caught him in India, but he was busy. But like, yeah.
Did you ask what MT stands for?
I was going to make something up. No, probably.
Oh fuck! I wish I knew.
I've actually never thought to ask that question.
Yeah.
It's probably his name.
Time. Popping.
All right.
He's eating. I want to.
Okay. We'll cut.
Snack break.
Sorry.
That's a good place to cut. Ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. All right. So,
Hit it. Free pop.
So we've also, the next thing that we have prepared for the gang is we have some video submissions of like things that people, there's only a few, but like that they sent in for us to discuss, questions for us to answer, etc. So we're welcome, and then you can share your thoughts.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's do the first one, Leash.
The second the
Leash,
sugar
when it
touches the
finishes, be ready to press pause because it will repeat.
Sugar hit immediately.
And
All right, guys, listen. Don't you hate it when you're at battle and you're letting off some firearms, killing it,
Never done that.
and then the crowd's on some silent clap, BS, and you just like question your whole existence. Obviously, you shouldn't need validation if you're confident in your dance, but at the same time, like a little bit of love goes a long way. You know what I mean? So, yeah, next time you're out battle, make sure you show some love.
Okay, thoughts?
We spoke about this on the phone.
Yeah, we did.
Go on.
actually.
Go on, Lee.
All right then. So it was the event that was in Brixton where Slim Boogie judged. Which event was this?
Slim Boogie judged in Brixton?
Yes, where Richard Pop won.
Fuck. Oh.
T-Boy's event.
Oh.
Studio B?
Yes.
Flex something? London Flex. There we
London
go.
Flex, yes.
And you gave a painting as the prize.
Yes.
It was really cool.
Thanks. And
Richard Pop, it better be in the fucking on your wall.
it wasn't a very good painting, so if it's not, I
I
completely
thought it was
understand.
good.
But also keep it. So basically, yeah. So he was there, and then I can't remember how it worked, but like obviously T-Boy is a very social guy, so he kind of like gets things happen. So he basically brought me, Slim, Breaks, Rajib, and then a few others. I can't remember who else was there. It's basically just cypher at like Waterloo. Oh, you came with us. Yes, you came with us.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you'll confirm. So, and then basically Slim was like, everyone did a couple of rounds, and everyone was doing some good rounds, right? And at one point, I don't know if you remember this, Slim was like, you remember? Yeah, he was like, why is no one talking or giving any energy? And it just like, and you know how like kind of like the London heads are, sometimes they're just really weird, right? Yeah. And you'll say something and they don't respond, they just like that. So everyone kind of just went really quiet, and I laughed. I can't remember what I said, but I say something along the lines of like, yeah, we just like, this is just how we are. But it was that thing of, it was a real culture shock for him. He thought we didn't like it.
Yeah, he was like, do y'all even want to be here?
Yeah.
He was like, why is everybody dead, man? Like, what's wrong with y'all?
He said like 2 or 3 times, and no one kept. Everyone just ignored
Nothing
it.
changed.
No one tried. But it was like, yeah, on that. But it was weird because I don't know whether it's like a Kev's thing or if it's a UK thing or not, because I noticed that other international dancers have done it. Like when they come over and they've either battled or done showcases, that the UK crowd is particularly quiet.
Yeah.
But I don't mind it. Like, and even when I remember I went when we went Battle Bad.
Yeah.
Even now, I got to the semis. I think I got beat by Aki.
Yeah.
And the whole way through, I thought I was alright. I wasn't that good, but it like I didn't really get any kind of love from the crowd at all. But
Paris is also pretty hardcore to get.
Yeah, but I just thought like, oh, okay, cool. Like this is just how they are. And again, like I said, in terms of like on not needing the validation, I kind of always think of it like, yes, it helps when the crowd gives you that energy because it makes you more excited. But I often think it's a case of kind of like with the comedy thing we said earlier. You have to kind of go in and win the room a little bit. You know, and then if you win the room, you don't really need to be that good in dancing because you notice that some people win the room early on, and when they get to the semis or finals, they're not doing anything particularly different or better than they were in the beginning rounds. But because they won the room, everything they do, like MT at Rebel Dance, he was literally just falling backwards doing this. Everyone's going bloody nuts because you win the room in it. So I don't mind it actually.
Yeah, I agree, and I also think, for me personally, it's I mean, this is life lesson in a way, but I always like take things on me of like, let's not blame them. Let's see what I can change to do that. And it's like people that are complaining about, oh, the crowd's dead. And I'm like, well, how much did you do to entertain the crowd, first of all? Like, or are you just doing your rounds and going like, oh, I'm so amazing, you should be making noise. It's like, why? Because your friends make noise at home. It's like, it doesn't mean you're good. Like, and that's kind of what I love about Paris and London, but more Paris, where it's like, we have this is the energy I get from the crowd. It's like, we have the best dancers on the fucking planet. You better do something.
Yeah.
What, you think your bedroom rounds are going to impress us? Like, and then people are like, well, why aren't you making noise? It's like, have you met fucking Nelson? Have you met Rushka? You're nothing compared to them kind of thing. And when you are, you do get the room on your side. Like Majid gets love in Paris. You know, I mean, maybe not as much as in Germany, but enough. And I think
the Germans.
The other thing is the events are often trash, and I've said this so many times on this pod, but as in like,
call up.
If you imagine being an audience member. I mean, just imagine, like, any dancer is like this, but you go from like 10 a.m, the prelims all day, and it's just one after another of just shit dancers going, and then
no shade.
Anyone that's good, like, I mean, if you have 100 people entering. Even if it's a top 16, it's like at most you've got 40 good ones. The rest are like amateurs that have jumped in. But it's like no, I'm good, thanks. But you're sitting through all of that, and then it's like, oh, let's go take an hour break and let's go do this, and then you sit on the floor, and then it's like there's nowhere to go get water, and then it's like there's no food anywhere, and it's just like, and then finals are like delayed at 11 p.m. or 10 p.m. and now you're like, why aren't you making noise? And I'm fucking tired. Like, this is amazing, but my legs hurt. I want to go home.
Trying to get comfortable on the floor like this.
Do you know what I mean? I think, and if you go to like places like the Dancer Style, Battle Bad finals, Beyond Doubt, the short events that are like, okay, the prelims are on one day, the second day you come, you're in a comfy chair, there's food, there's drinks, there's a host that is engaging. Then you see the crowd perk up because it's like your entire audience is like comfortable. And it's like even stand-up comedy, it's like there's a reason why there's always a bar. Because it's like the more like, if you have a couple of beers in you, you're more loose with your laughs and stuff like that. So I think it's a combination of things, but all of things that you can try and adjust for yourself. Like you can try and be more entertaining.
Yeah, I think it's like, just on that, like art infrastructure for battles, they don't really pick venues which is like the audience a comfortable space. It's just like, there's a floor there where dancers can dance, and there's a stage,
which is hard to do because budget wise and stuff. I get it, but still.
I also feel like, I don't know, I feel like other countries have a better infrastructure for dance than we do. But it wasn't always like that, because back in the day when we were coming up, we had better events than we do.
You know what?
They were smaller.
Do you want my reason for that?
Yes, I want to bite your finger, go.
The scene, our scene in the battle side used to be mostly over 18s.
Oh.
Right? Now it's
full of these fucking kids with their fucking zits and their... Sorry.
Yes. So basically now, because this... if you remember, like our day, all of our events used to be at bars.
Yeah.
And now, because there's so many kids, we can't have events at bars anymore.
It's fucking Blue's Clues!
So now you have to find venues that are like open for kids as well, and that becomes worse. Bars are like the most venue that there is. Fuck's sake. The most venues that there are in London is bars, basically.
It's true, because you're like the most accommodating one in terms of atmosphere, like moving around environment was probably Plan B in Brixton, right? Like
that was
Charlie's
perfect
events, like
for that
throwdowns.
size.
Yeah, so that was probably the best. And then you have like Arc Bar and other places of that as well. But
Isn't it mad that, sorry, another tangent, isn't it mad that
Yeah.
Charlie just turned into like the dream god of the world?
Yeah.
Loads of books.
Yeah, he's like into
Lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
But
Well, I
Lucid
think
dreaming
he-
is sick.
I think
What are we talking
Okay,
about?
wait. Should we move on to the next one? Let's move on to the next one. We've got to limit these time on each one. Okay, let's go. Next one. We have 3 from the same person.
Okay, so the first question I have is, what is your take on dating in the dance scene? And for some context, I'm coming up on almost 2 years starting my dance journey, and I've asked a number of friends. And
He's like,
some
there's a
friends
lot
are
of good-looking women.
Absolutely. Most people are like, absolutely not, I don't shit where I eat. And then a lot of other people are just sort of on the fence. And so for me personally, in response to people saying, I don't shit where I eat,
That's
I'm
hilarious.
sort of eating a lot right now in the dance community. So I'm like,
Oh!
shit,
Eating
but
or
curious to see
shitting?
What you think?
No, I think he meant I'm in the
humble
dance
brag.
community a lot.
Rather than- 'cause-
Nah, he meant he's slanging that. Yeah.
But it's hilarious that the euphemism for dating or sex is
Shitting where you eat. Yeah.
Shit.
Like how it's like, oh, I don't want to fucking shit all
butt
over.
stuff.
What?
What?
Who
Got so many
I've
jokes.
shat where I've eaten.
Have you eaten wave shat?
Yes. Yes.
Define loads.
He's on the hot seat.
I've drunk like 75% of my
Oh, fair. Conquests.
conquests.
Nice.
My
75%.
I'd say
75
so, yeah.
people. What?
To be
But
fair,
that's
shocking.
Like
Yeah, no.
it's not an office. Like it's a wider pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for 20 years.
Yeah, true.
It's hard to make friends.
Yeah, all of my outside of my like teenage boyfriend and still teenage, but like college boyfriend, like my long-term relationships were dancers too. Yeah, not a fan now, but I've never had a problem with it before.
But are you more thinking like, okay, in the sense of you looking for a long-term partner, you'd prefer if they were someone that did something else?
I think having a creative partner is helpful in a shorthand understanding of lifestyle way. I also think we skew a bit younger. Like if I went to a bar in the city, I don't think anyone my age is going to see me in a bar and be like, she's nearly 40. I'll ask her out.
Right.
So I just think I attract younger people anyway. Also know all the dancers of my gen, so that's not occurring. So whether it's by choice or design, I've kind of maxed out anyway. But
Who's left?
I think there's a way to do it that it doesn't need to be secretive, but
Yeah.
I think it's helpful if you're not flaunting
Yeah.
it as a thing. I think that's when it becomes something that you'd regret because everyone knows your business.
Okay, here's my thoughts and tell me what you think on that last part. Is like, I think of this, you know, people that be like, oh, don't shit where you eat, like, don't date in the dance scene. I take that the same as like, you know, guys that are like they tell girls or like their daughters or whatever, like, oh, don't date guys are all pieces of shit. And for me, I'm like, is that because you're a piece of shit, so you think all, like, I always thought of that, like, if I have a girlfriend and she's like, oh, I'm gonna meet this guy, I'd be like, my assumption is like, oh, he's a nice guy. Like, I wouldn't assume he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But like guys that say to girls that all guys are pieces of shit, I'm like, well, is that because you're a piece of shit? Like,
What's the link to
so people that are like,
People
oh,
say
don't
date dancers.
don't date dancers because they're all pieces of shit. Or like, don't shit where you eat because it's gonna go. I'm like, why
Because
would?
the person saying it, you say, and the link there is the
Yeah,
person saying it
projection.
is the person that would just go around and sleep with anyone and treat other dancers
Exactly,
shit.
like, oh,
Right, okay.
don't do it in the dancing because, like, for example, like, oh, everyone will know your business and blah blah. Like, for me, I'm like, I actually don't have that much of a problem with people knowing my business because I'm like, what's
Also, like
There's
how
nothing to hide.
Yeah,
how
there's nothing
big's
to
your
hide.
scene? Like
Yeah.
if you're talking about like the
Japanese.
London popping scene,
Right.
like small. But if you're like dating a dancer, like that could be someone that's not in your circle or community
Could
at
be
all.
from Canada.
how you doing, girl?
Also, isn't it just normal for people to date people
Yeah.
at the work or where they spend most of their
I
life?
think, yeah, I
Gonna
think
raise
that's
that
what I
one,
was
yeah.
gonna say. It's like I get both point of views, and I also think that it's different for men and women. Like,
Sure, because there's like a
just 'cause, like,
reputational.
or like kind of a guy that sleeps around isn't perceived the same as a girl who sleeps around. So I think it's like there's kind of that layer that is kind of part of it for different people.
He said dating. He didn't talk about sleeping around, but
or
we
dating,
inferred that.
whether
He
it's
did
like,
say he was eating a lot.
Matt's getting it in.
well, dating, however casual or non-casual.
Well put.
But I think there's a layer of that. But then it's like, because it's your career, it's like for sure there's people that would have different opinions about, shitting where you eat, because then you're confronted with the fact that like if things end, you're still going to be around that person and there's no escaping.
Which is where my kind of thing comes in of like, if you're nice to everyone, why should that be a problem?
Yeah, but it's like, even if you're nice to somebody,
You might not want to.
Yeah, it's
Fair.
just like,
Or maybe they're not nice.
yeah.
Which is another
So that, but
Fair.
also I think because it's not just a career, often it becomes like what your social circle
Yeah.
is, where your friends are. So it's not a straight like, you know, it's not the same as people who go into the office and don't have like an attachment necessarily that is beyond doing the hours in a specific building, where it's kind of like your weekends,
Yeah,
your evenings,
agreed.
you're going out, you're like traveling together. So it's kind of natural that you develop relationships with the people that you experience all those things with.
So
I think
what do
it's
we say to Matt?
do it responsibly.
Do it responsibly, like
And-
drinking in
and
the
in
dancing.
moderation.
Yeah, I
And
think
don't
that's
talk
fair.
about it. Yeah, just
And don't do it while driving.
And perhaps outside of your immediate circle,
Yes.
like not all dancers, but like you don't want to have a fight and then be like, don't want to see you ever again, but I'll see you tomorrow at rehearsals.
Fair.
Yeah, like if we break up, I'll just go back to Montreal.
Don't
Cool.
kiss and tell.
Should we see Matt's two other questions?
Yes.
Next one. So I got this rash on
Okay, final question. So, like many other
Oh,
people,
Oh wait, that's not the final question. Wait.
Is that a mic?
Do the one. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, it's just like he's doing
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
On another note,
Where?
It's at the bottom.
okay,
The cone.
on another note,
Whoa.
I recall listening to one of my favorite episodes on the London Capsule with Duke
Oh.
and Joelle.
Oh.
And Joel was talking about sort of the layers in dance, where there's like a physical layer, a technical layer, and then in response to that, Duke had mentioned
That's
that one of the things that people often fear, myself included, is sort of saying like, I kind of know the style already after some time, and he would love to see people inject themselves.
Way up.
I'm assuming more of their character, their own personality into the dance. And I'm curious, what does that look like from a training perspective?
Ooh, good
How do
question.
you go about that?
What's the question?
So what Joel was saying was like, there's loads of different like layers to the dance. But my point was like, okay, it was related to what he said, which isn't necessarily important now. But I was saying like, once you learn the style, some people want to just get better at the style. Like they think the answer is like,
I do remember this, yeah.
yeah, like, oh, I can do pop in. I know some people like this at the moment. It was like, I can do pop in, but then they're like, oh, I lost this battle. Let me go and like learn more boogaloo moves, or let me go and get my hits stronger. And it's like, sometimes that's not the issue. It's just like, you need to be creative. It's a creative dance style. So, and this is also the thing with like, there's a load of different reasons we can talk about, but it gets mixed in with like people trying to be like respectful of the style and the culture, because they're like, oh, I just need to learn more about it. And it's like, yeah, but you also need to bring you to it. And that's like sometimes the most authentic thing is like bring yourself to it. So he's saying, how do you train bringing yourself to a style? I feel like you two are the best people to answer this.
Come to III. Go on.
I was just
Yeah,
I was
come
just
to
gonna
III.
say, like, although I would love to comment on this because I literally teach this to my art students. I think you teach it the best. You have a whole program and
Well, not
structure
the
around
best, but thank you.
it.
Not the best, I'm only in the top 3. Yes. How do
I mean,
you
you gotta
train
talk.
putting yourself into a style, injecting yourself where?
Without like being specific about the exercises, it is just doubling down on your point, just putting as much attention and analysis into yourself as a mover as you are into the fundamentals of the style. And I think that's a question of like making room for that to feel as important to you as the rest. And I think with styles dancers, I assume when they start out, it is about fundamentals and getting a hang of the basics of the thing, and you're not really leaving much room or making a priority that aspect of it. So that's really what I'm enforcing, and then it's, you know, the logistics of, well,
There's a
here's
few
some
different
exercises
tasks,
to explore the thing, but it's just validating yourself as part of the game.
And I think there's something about the difference in generations from all 5 of us versus now, where a lot of people's first motivation is to fit in. Us, it was like whether it was like boogaloo people, whether it was like now, even though you guys are like, especially as poppers, are like very different to like the average popper, you're way more, like, I'll say, like conformists than you ever were when we were like 18, 19.
Yeah.
Our crew when we were 18, 19 had a passion for like fuck everyone else and what they're doing. Yeah. Like it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It's like, it's just you're doing this thing and fuck you for doing it. And like we want to come to battles and show you that we don't need to do all of that shit. In all, like I did it with hip hop. You guys did it with popping.
Yeah. It was more you and most that did that with popping.
No, but even you, like, remember, like your thing from the beginning was
choreo maybe.
And choreo maybe, or crump.
Or crump, yeah.
But even Abe, when he first started popping, it's like, if you remember, like now it's hard to look back because it's like, your thing has always been concepts and tracing and tuts and stuff. But that wasn't what popping was back then. It was like, there was Salah. There was, even with, if you look at Jadawi and Pepito at the beginning, it wasn't so concept heavy. It was like boogaloo basic. So it's like you going in and doing a whole round of concepts was not unheard of, but it was more rare.
Yeah, I think that there were definitely 2 schools of thought with Boogaloo and G-Style, and I think there was, I think we got frustrated at the
both of them.
Yeah, the camps of like, if it's not that, it has to be this, and there are no other viable answers.
Yeah. So I think.
But his question was like, how do you
train that,
or what does that look like in practice?
Well, I think it's like when you go to, it's what Tally said, but it's like when you go to practice. Are you sitting there doing drills? Are you sitting there doing boogaloo movements? Or are you doing something you're like, I want to fucking do this. How can I make this look good? As opposed to like, oh, but that's not popping, or that's not. This was the whole thing in our generation. It was like when Salah did stuff. Oh, he's not doing popping. And I had that with hip hop. Oh, he's not doing hip hop. And it's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm doing what I want to do, and I'll make it hip hop. Whereas now people are like, just doing running man, this step, bounce, and it's like, okay, like, cool, it's hip hop, but what the fuck else?
It is like a mental approach, because I can relate it to, I was saying to a student yesterday about choreo class, like I can go in to like practice my pickup, or I can go in to like bang it out because it's like a stamina thing, or I can go in and add my own flair to it because I want to train that. So it's almost like, doesn't necessarily have to do anything different with his training, but just what he's doing mentally, his approach to the training that he's doing would aid that.
I was going to say, do you mind if I try and answer the question in terms of a practical sense?
Yes, go.
I think it's that point. So I don't think it actually matters what it is that you're particularly training. I think the question, if I were to reword it, is how do I develop my own style?
Yeah.
Right. And I think that, again, I teach this to college students. So I teach art to college students a couple of times a week, and at 17, all they want to do is say that they've got their own style. And I say to them, how can you have a style in something if you don't know how to do that thing first, right? But also, you don't even need to try and have a style, because I think we can probably talk about a style in an abstract way as just a representation of yourself within something.
Sure.
And so all you need to do is just be yourself, approach it as yourself, and you will just appear in that thing. And I think practically the best way, in the most simple term, again, without talking about specific exercises, is just to break down the components of whatever your thing you're trying is into manageable steps. You can talk about that kind of like later at length about how to manage those steps. And then frequently take a small amount of information, practice it well so it's within your body, and then play with it. And it's just that, it's bouncing between
technique and play.
Exactly. And the play is where you build your approach and the familiarity of what's comfortable and what's not. Agreed. And where you're comfortable of going. And if you don't play, and I always use this as an example in like realistic drawing, but you can take it as like bodybuilders, for example. If someone is really extreme about their diet, about their exercising, about their aesthetic, they can look incredible. Like bodybuilders look fantastic, but it's difficult to, depending on if we're talking about just sculpting the human body, right? But in terms of like playing with them, it's like it's hard to play a game with a bodybuilder or someone who kind of takes that to the extreme if they're not focused on not just mobility and everything like this, but the idea of how to utilize their body in an interaction with someone else and have fun with them. So like, like playing football, basketball, dance with someone with someone who's a bit stiff or whatever. It's if they're not used to play, they won't know how to approach something in a way that works for them. There, playfully. And I think with dance, it's one of those things that kind of lends itself to style that counterintuitively, it's kind of like trying to relax. You can't. it's like trying to be yourself. You don't need to do it. You just, it's one of those things where it's a bit passive.
It's like habitual. Like you have to get in the habit of thinking like yourself as opposed to thinking like.
Yeah. And you can, and like there are in terms of like, oh well, the next maybe I guess question would be, well, how do you be yourself within that thing? You can look at yourself objectively. So mood boards are really good for that. Yeah. Just look at all the things you like and then recognize the patterns of things, and then you can kind of you're in danger of becoming a caricature of yourself. But one exercise that I don't know if you still do it, but you fucking did.
Nothing's changed. So yeah,
I talk about this one exercise all the time with my students, and I said like, you made me go up and do a freestyle in front of like 10, 15 people, and didn't tell us what the exercise was. So then I freestyle for like a minute, and then you pick like 10 people to go up and then do what their interpretation of my freestyle was, and then after that I had to then go and freestyle again based on their interpretation, and it basically becomes like
no biting.
It's really clever. Like the experience is really clever because what you get is this really filtered example of your movements, and the effect is that it completely clears your mind to decision making. Because you go, oh, these are the things that I can focus on, and I'm still freestyling, I'm still playing, I'm still exploring. But what I could do, I think the danger of that, if you do it too much, is that you can then almost become kind of the caricature of how your audience sees you.
Yes.
So it's like, it's good to do it, and that's where you jump exactly again, and that's where you jump back to the technique, back to the play, and do that bouncing. That's how I would say to.
If you have any more questions about this.
Yeah, fact and fireliners. That's how he did it.
In a academic way, because I'm not as smart as you guys, but just purely based off my experience and from like experience, I don't know, my background.
I like it.
Experience of like, let's say like basketballers and stuff like that. They just imitate their favorite basketballers. Like there would be like a month where I'd pop like Green Tech. There'd be a month when I'd pop like Doc Hume. There'd be a month when I'd pop like Ness, and then.
The amalgamation
of all of that. Or you just wouldn't dance for a while and then you just start dancing, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, like your influences are important, I think. Should we answer Matt's third question?
Yeah, let's do his third question.
Good question.
Pizza!
A town.
Down.
Nice.
Why has he got a mic?
Because he's a great content creator.
Jeez.
I don't know, just to make it better, I guess.
Okay, final question.
Hit us.
So, like many other people, I love watching like high caliber dancers perform.
Thank you so much.
And what's more interesting to me is sort of the journey on how they got there. So in light of that, I'm curious, how do you recommend people allocate their time when it comes to training? And for some context, like I'm a dad, I have a job like other people as well.
Get ready,
and my time is somewhat limited outside of taking classes and maybe going to gyms. And I'd love to make most effective use of my time when it comes to training and practicing and developing musicality and at the same time concepts. And I'm just curious, how are people within a given block of time constructing their training regimen?
Can I take this one? Because I think
Take it away!
I feel like Daddy-O should have a take two now.
Honestly, throughout half the question, I went into like frustratedly impatient mode, and I went, just suck it up and train, man. Who cares?
That's not the answer.
Luke, go.
I think there's a simple answer to this, and it's because it's already been done with the gym and personal trainers. Yeah. So it's like, no matter, first thing is how much time do you have? This is when I went to the gym with Paula, first thing she asked me, how much time can you allocate to this? Before anything, before we go to the gym, before we start the program, how much time do you have? And I said, I can go like 2 days a week, I reckon, at the moment. She's like, cool, we'll build the training program around 2 days a week. If you can do more, you can do more. But for now, let's start with that. And I think that's the first thing you need to ask yourself is, allocate a set amount of time per week, even if that's 1 hour per week, even if it's 30 minutes per week. Pick your time slot first around what's comfortable. Then split up, either if you're doing multiple sessions a week or if you're doing multiple sessions a month, write down all the things that you want to get better at, that you think, like even if it's like a few things in one thing. So like you could have musicality, you could have like research into music, like everything music based, for example, could be one thing. Or everything research based, so watching YouTube videos, figuring out dances, blah, 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 in with listening to music, whatever. Fit them into categories and then split those categories out throughout your month. So if it's like, I would always say like, do drill. Let's say if you're doing 3 sessions a week, Monday is drills day because it's the beginning of the week. Just, do all your drills, all your, things that don't require creativity. Just bang them out on a Monday when you feel like shit. Then Tuesday is research day because you're tired from Monday, so you just sit down, you watch stuff, you do your input, you take that in. Wednesday is play day, so you take all the stuff, experiment, film yourself, do rounds, and then you just repeat that every week. But if you want to do more stuff, let's say battles, right? If you're doing a freestyle style or shows or auditions, that might be your weekend, and you leave Thursday and Friday free because you know on the weekend I'm going to have to battle. I need a couple of days to be refreshed. It's just allocating your time, splitting and what you want to get better at that's the part that answers your last question, which is how do I get better at being myself? It's like, well, you decide what you want to get better at. I want to be the sickest, most technically strong popper. Okay, then you're going to go heavy on drills and less on play, exactly, whatever. And then just split that up throughout the month and then do that. Even if it's half an hour a week. Yeah. If you do 4 different sessions, or whatever, or you split even within that half an hour, 10-minute drills, 10-minute thingy, 10-minute play, and do that once a week. That's my half an hour.
Percentage.
That's a really good,
That's a really good answer.
I think
Thank you.
also, with life coming at you and like so many different things, I think it's a matter of not responsibility but priority of how much time you have to allocate to something. But also one of the things that Joelle, who favorite episode, but one of the things that Joelle told me about is like, when you have things that you want to work on, if there are like way too many things, you want to work on like your musicality, your technique, how you insert personality, your presentation, blah blah blah, it's like, if these don't have priorities, you kind of get lost in the training sauce. So he was like, identify like 2 things. He said, if you look at problems like coconuts and peanuts, what is your coconut? Like, what is your biggest problem? If your biggest problem is if your biggest problem is your musicality, then if you focus on training your musicality, maybe a lot of your other issues are going to take care of themselves. Like if you kind of tackle 2 of your main issues and you improve those, it's like maybe better than just like kind of shooting a little bit everywhere.
Sick.
Yeah,
all at once.
That's like the 7 habits of highly effective people. They do that.
I don't know. I'm not a highly effective person.
Sounds like you are.
Yeah,
should we move on to the last 2 before Tally has to go?
Yeah. Can I just add one last sentence to that?
No!
Okay!
Gosh, with a mic as well.
Sorry. Include your kid. He said he's a dad, right? Yeah, so just involve your kid in what you're doing.
Father of the year.
No, I don't mean it like like a moment like that, but like an actual
You're like fucking make him train.
Matt's at home like, hold on!
Just play it. Just engage, whatever age. It's like just there's a reason Cairo, he's got an easel at home.
There's a reason Cairo just won Just a Boo.
Jesus. Yeah, he's got an easel at home, and he draws all the time now, and it's just because I draw all the time at home. So it's
sick. So you do it at the same time.
Yeah, I think just because he's exposed to me doing it loads.
So he does it.
Yeah, because
he just imitates.
Yeah, he just wants to engage with you. So I think there's a lot of things you can do as a parent where you can actually incorporate your time with your kid.
Sick.
Absolutely, it will change how you do it, but for sure you can incorporate it.
Look at all these Chinese babies. That could be you if you try hard enough.
Are you alright if we did the last 2 before you leave?
Yeah, I can be out at 25 too. So.
Okay, cool.
Come on.
Let's do the last 2.
I can't.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? The Capsule. Hope everyone is good. I am currently sending a video from my office.
Oh.
Where is it?
Listen, I've been having a case of psoriasis starting on my eye, on my paupière, we call it in French.
Wish.
What should I do with that? What dance style do you guys think is the best dance style to cure the psoriasis on my eyelid?
Serious.
Just breathe at the end.
Serious.
Cool.
I didn't know it was your brother at first, so I was just like, what is happening?
For everyone at home, that's Jenny's Abe?
Crump, man. Just get really angry at your eye and inflame it even more.
Cool.
Yeah.
Pseudocreme.
Get the devil out.
Pseudocreme. Pseudocreme.
Pseudocreme?
Oh, is it pseudocreme?
I thought it was cream.
Pseudocreme. I don't know.
Creme. It's spelt creme.
English is weird.
So anyway, sorry.
It's got to be popping, right? Surely.
Yeah.
Go and what's your backup for
All
that?
right, so you don't want to add anything to it. So anything where you have to go to like a ballroom event, like add makeup and shit. No,
Definitely,
so
yeah.
whacking
Voguing
voguing's out.
Yeah, whacking
right?
voguing's out.
Sweat's probably not going to help, though,
Sweat's
is
not-
it?
so nothing-
something like
Nothing breaking, crump, nothing too active, locking like
Yeah,
that.
so
They have to
popping.
have, right? And you can't do anything like house because you have to really think about weight distribution and balance and stuff like this, right?
Too much
Even though
for
it's a bit
the
softer.
eye. Yeah,
so
fair.
popping, it's like you could just do animation slow motion the whole time and not really have to worry too much about.
Barely have to blink. In fact, it's better if you don't.
Right? You can just. You can take it kind of as easy as so you can pop in your chair if you want. So I'd say pop in.
Or
He's already
Tally's
doing it.
class, a nice calm routine.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which routine it is.
Yeah, I was like,
Orion's
just
belt.
maybe some, yeah, sure.
We
Okay.
could do
yeah,
Orion's
that's-
belt without
that's
getting
some-
sweaty.
that's-
Mate, Orion's belt fucking bang.
Yeah, I think definitely don't do contemporary. You might get psoriasis on the other eye. So
What is psoriasis?
Isn't
it's
it?
like yeah, it's
Dry
like,
skin.
It's
Yeah.
like a
Oh,
worse. It's not
Worse
like eczema,
eczema.
but it's
Yeah.
like your
Eczema.
skin. Your
Eczema.
eczema.
That's the best way I've ever heard anyone say it.
Should we watch the last one?
Please, undermining their clients.
We say eczema.
Oh,
But
Eczema's
eczema
like,
is amazing.
psoriasis gang.
Oh, I just thought it was eczema.
Last one. Full screen it as well, yeah?
Oh, what are they saying?
Eczema. Eczema.
Hello everybody.
Hello.
My name is GW. I'm from France. And I dance popping.
How is his hair so beautiful?
I was going to say really good hair.
So I
And beard.
need some advice about I think techniques. I like to do waving. I tried, and I
Is he
need
joking?
some
Because
advice
he's really
to
good.
Understand how I can change direction, energy, dimension in the same time in waving. So this is the first thing, and the second thing and the worst thing.
I
for
did
me
think he seems
is,
irrationally stressed,
about
like rubbing his forehead and
the
stuff.
fear and the stress that you can have when you do a battle. So I really want to know how to be more confident, really, because
That's
you
amazing.
know there are some people that are really bad sometimes in battle, how they speak and how they act. So I want to answer to that. So thank you very much. Thank you for your time, and I hope you can give me this answer. Thank you. Bye.
What you got for him?
Screw this guy, man.
This is really good.
He's really good, bro.
I know what can help.
Go on.
It's controversial, but if you just do the same moves over and over again, build confidence. You
Like
feel
come up with
confident.
a move
Yeah.
that's like you can repeat that like
Yeah.
in different battles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting. Like he seems like someone who's quite versatile, does a lot of different stuff. So maybe just stick to the same like 4 or 5 like concepts.
And I've got another one actually. When you start to do more battles, like people are gonna watch you online, right?
Yeah.
So if you're prepared for them to like copy those moves,
What could you do?
I would do something like I would start the move,
Yeah.
and then like when they copy.
All right. So you start
Okay,
moving. I'll copy.
okay, so like if I'm doing this,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, and then you copy me,
Yeah.
I would stop the move and I would do like this to
Yeah.
signify like, oh, you've been watching me online,
And
and then I would like almost like swear at them and
Right.
like flick my hand like this.
That would make me
Yeah.
completely lose control.
Yeah.
And I would lose my head and act like a complete idiot.
And then I think sometimes you have to just throw in like this.
I'd
You
also
just have
add,
to just throw in like a little like, but you can't just hold it up. You have to roll your hands.
I'd also
That's
add
important.
to that, like when you do after that,
Yeah.
you do like a little thing to show
Oh,
that they're
on your-
keyboarding.
you're on
Oh, 'cause they're
keyboard
keyboard
warriors.
warriors.
and then I would look at the crowd
Yeah.
to dismiss them and go, fucking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it worked very
It
well.
worked really well. It worked so well that the other person that was talking shit had to stop and start clapping.
He just lost control. He cussed, clapped, and then cussed again, and then walked away because the crowd was still cheering at how stupid he looked. It was amazing.
Wesh.
Yeah, Abe, can you answer in French actually?
Wesh mon gars, MDR, you know, sometimes
that's not French.
No, French accent we'll do. We'll take a French accent.
sometimes you have to, you know, and yeah, so that's it.
You should just do like a little cut so it looks like the video cut there.
Yeah, you just didn't say anything.
Great
Guys,
submissions.
Yeah, great
Great
submissions. If you're unfamiliar with what we just said, go and YouTube Janawi.
Shall do.
Complicated to spell, but worth it. And cool. So Tally's gonna have to leave in a sec, correct? Or can you stay?
On the easier way.
Finish.
Stay till 6.
Stay
I can't stay till 6.
No,
It's
5.
Stay till 6. Stay till 6.
I'm not staying till
Wait. Why do you have to be in
Because it's a
Colorado?
leaving do
For who?
for me.
Yeah. Oh. It can't
Sorry, I'm late. I just don't give a fuck. Just do it.
It can't start without you.
Oh, traffic and blah blah, and then this comes out.
Jay.
Yes. Peer pressure.
What if you arrived later? Would it start later when you arrived?
Let
No,
her
I'm gonna-
live her plan.
I should.
Yeah, sorry.
I should.
No, fair. That's responsible.
So the end will not.
We were just gonna kind of wrap up by talking about like the future and.
I would love to talk about the future, but
10 minutes. No.
I can't do 10 minutes. I can do 5.
Okay, we'll take 5.
Starting now.
Let's start with you then.
What, and then I leave?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
My future starts now. That's good. Okay, so future for you also, but also like for the capsule, and what do you think could be goals for us in the future, or the next 200 episodes was your
Where are we gonna be? This is episode number 200, so what are we gonna be talking about on episode 400?
I think that the world is literally your oyster as far as this thing goes. I think that we'll be talking about really cool things that we couldn't do because we were slammed and the demand was so high. I think you'll have your pick of the bunch as far as the events that you're covering.
Yeah.
I think we spoke about it before, but some like roving reporterish stuff.
Yes,
like I
we
do
need more of
think
that.
it will be really fun to do that. I guess my hope is that we get to travel together and
100%.
do this places.
If you're
which
listening to
is
this or
going to
watching
happen.
and you like this, hire us as a 5 to cover your event.
And only if you like one of us, we all come as a 5.
No, that's not true. I'll come by myself. He's the first one we can get rid of.
I mostly hope that you kind of get your flowers from the seam, but just that it literally pays off for you, and that financially you reap what you should for all the work that you've put in. You will, but it is also just my hope that is true. For myself, I think I've realized I'm almost like an unfunded NPO, in that I'm feeling like I need to work in like year on, year off, in terms of like be of service to oneself, be of service to oneself. And next year I would really like to be a year of creativity and making work, because that's not really a thing that's happening when I'm facilitating my little arse off. There's an exciting thing potentially happening at the beginning of next year that facilitates that in a big way. So please cross fingers for the thing that I can't say. But yeah, that's my future, making things and not transitioning, but taking big fat eggs out of the theatre basket and getting my work on screen, because I do think that's where it belongs. With the detail of it, I think it needs a zoomed lens and not someone sat in the nosebleeds. So that is I.
So episode 300, we're gonna check in.
Absolutely, please. Me and Robia did this wild like manifesty thing, just chat, like what are we trying to do in the summer? And like so many of those things before the year's out have just occurred. And I'm not saying it's that, but just like speaking about it kind of helped it become a focus for us almost. So I definitely think that all the things you'll say once I leave will be things that we're talking about in
what we could
episode
do
300.
Is Mr. Beast did this. Yeah, I think Mr. Beast did this. He made YouTube videos when he was really young and like set them to release on a date.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's like, we could say like, all right, 2026, January 1st, 2026. And it's like a video to yourself or like to the world of like, okay, I'm hoping to be at this place, or you know what I mean? Like whatever it is you want to put out, like a little time capsule.
You never see those videos when it doesn't come true though, do you?
Some of his have, I think, Mr. Beast one.
Really?
I didn't understand.
Yeah, but he's really
like
rich.
if you don't get big and you're going, I'm going to be the biggest, and it's like,
Fly, my pretties!
My future starts now!
We will leave the chair empty in memory of Tally.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Tally.
I will squeeze you on my Well, you are cutting this. This isn't going to stay, is it?
Nah, we're gonna
Keep
keep
all.
We're keeping this
Keep that
in.
in.
Episode 200, baby!
Woo! Unedited.
That's from the pod. What the fuck we want?
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah,
I forgot why he was saying that.
Why did I say that? Because we were drinking.
Why do you say anything?
Yeah, true. We were drinking. Yeah.
Abe? Next 200 or 100 episodes of the Capsule?
I
200?
think it's hard to follow up from that, so I am going to
Good idea.
talk about the Capsule in an alternate universe.
Ooh.
Going multiverse, going Marvel.
Well,
on
first
that
of all, what
ass.
would the name be?
Earth 616, Capsule 616. You do it. Sorry.
It'll be because
This is your thing. I'm sorry.
it'll be that, and it would be a pirate radio station.
Oh!
You
What is
guys
that?
play. It's
It
like
kind of is a
radio
pirate radio station. Like, they used to have, like, radio stations that are like, what?
You have to let him explain.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm joking.
Oh.
I'm just playing a bit.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
I want Abe to answer.
They weren't like licensed radio stations. Like, people just go and set up and like tap into the frequencies and then just like
Like a live podcast.
kind of like they would just like be playing music and shit from their bedroom or whatever.
yeah.
Was it Rinse FM that started?
Oh.
Was Rinse FM a pirate radio station? That's right.
I could be
Because
wrong.
they wouldn't get the licensing for the music, they would just
Yeah.
play it.
Not even because they wouldn't
Oh.
like yes, but also they wouldn't even try. It was just like we're gonna say what the fuck we want.
Yeah.
We're just gonna be underground and like
Like
they would
pirates.
play like their friends' music, and that's how grime actually started spreading through pirate radio stations. Where it's like it would just be like you made a track and I would play it on the pirate radio, but it became so popular that like people would actually tune in on their car
So
radio.
that'd be like you going to an event and they're not hiring you, you're setting up and say what the fuck you like about it. This event's running fucking shit.
Just cracking the Capsule.
You'd be
Buy
like
a ticket. I'm gonna
You'd
fucking
be
say
like
what I
Couple
want.
FM, and then to get from that to like Kiss 100, you got to go like there's
Skip
nothing
a
in
few.
between,
Yeah.
and as you're skipping, you just a random station's there.
It's
You know,
like in
what the fuck
between.
is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah. So a pirate radio
Sorry, yeah.
station playing all the sickest dance music,
That would be cool.
like
Tell
even
Alex.
dance music that like they have at events, but no one else has. Like this pirate radio station has it,
It's actually still a good idea.
and
Yeah.
You should do this.
like you know, every now and then you have people callers. How do I get better at my popping? All of that stuff.
Yeah.
And then also, like, I don't know, nigga.
Nice.
What a strong. God damn. Abe set himself up for that one. Lee, you want to follow that?
It's hard to because we had like a really thoughtful one.
Yeah. And then we had Abe.
and then I don't know, nigga.
Okay, wait, what's your
It's giving rain.
in another 100 episodes? What are you going to be saying on here? Where are you going to be in your career and life?
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah.
Capsule thing. We
This
need to-
universe.
Yeah, in
I
this
don't know why I
universe.
yelled that, sorry.
What
So the
year?
mic's
What
full.
year are we in? What year are we in?
2020, 2026.
It will be another 2 and a bit years.
Okay.
If we do one every week, so 2.5 years.
I reckon that I'm
2027.
going to have one thing coming out that I can speak about
Whee!
as a supporting lead,
Whee!
and then 2 jobs. One that I'm currently filming that I had to take, like, this is my day off, and I've come in to like do this on my day off, but I'm filming tomorrow, and I've got a big crying scene
Yeah.
to do, and then another one that I booked at the start of this episode filming. Episode
Just
whatever
now
it is.
before you
Yeah.
walk
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
That your agent just called it.
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
Baller.
Baby,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
booked
yeah,
it.
Yeah, so 3 things, because Tally said that happened, like she speaks out loud.
Oh, and that, yeah.
And then also
Manifesting.
falling out the sky.
That's what I'm talking about.
What to Kanye West?
That's how I like my wins.
Please bleep all of that.
Yeah. Don't worry, I already did the edit in my head. I know exactly where I'm going to start and finish the bleep.
Please do another one. Do you remember when we were in the pirate radio station and we had that thing like chopped up on Insta where we were all just cracking up?
Yeah,
and being
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Please do another one.
Okay, cool.
Oh, also,
Go
I don't know
on.
if this is.
Say it.
You just said. You don't want to say what you're about to say.
Can you add in?
No.
Oh,
I'm
that
gonna
was
bleep
the
that.
funniest episode ever.
Leisha doesn't know
man.
about that.
He bleeped.
No, you don't either. You
Fuck,
why
it's
did
so-
you? Why did you?
That was great. Lucas,
Yeah.
next 2 years,
I think.
100 episodes.
Ooh. I think. What do I think of what you're going to do?
And you.
And you.
Yeah.
Weird.
And me. I think you probably I think you're going to be firmly on your way to like your 10-year goal. Like firmly. I think you're going to be going around the world doing this in a way more developed way. I don't know what that looks like, but I don't think that matters.
Yeah.
I don't think the means matter.
Right.
I think how whatever that looks like is whatever you want it to look like, because I think you're going to have so much more of what it is that you have that you're going to be able to decide what it is that you want to do and how you want to do it at the time. Like if we look at the equipment, the support network you have, the opportunities that you have now, like the people that you're working with, I think all of that is going to build in a significant but not outlandish way, because it will be, let's say, 2 years ahead. But I think you'll be in a position where you're like, oh fuck. The guy outside like,
I don't think anyone's gonna hear that. There was a siren.
oh fuck. You should just edit one in.
Yeah. Just like every time you talk on the spot.
Yeah, that's what I just think. I think you're going to be. I think you're going to do exactly whatever the fuck you want to do, I think it's going to go however you want. I think because you're going to have the benefit of being able to have control over however you want to do it. I think you're going to be so successful in this at that point in just another 2 years that you're going to be able to decide how and when you want to do things. I think that.
Thank you, mate. And I have to credit you also for like, I don't think it was a mantra, but like a thing that I always like played in my head whenever I was making decisions. It's like, at the 1 year anniversary of the Capsule, which was still like, this was underdeveloped as fuck at that point. But then afterwards, like everyone was like, oh, this is amazing, you did so good, blah, blah, blah. Like just a lot of congratulations. And then I think we were either in the car or something like that, and you were like, so I want to say something, but you're like, well done, everything is great, but like, the second year can't be the same as the first year. Basically, in the most polite way, step it the fuck up. So I was like, cool. And like from the next year, it was, like I kept playing that in my head of like, right, the second year can't be the same as the first year. Second year can't be the same as the first year. So it was a good and like, all right, that's a good, like the way you were saying it was like, that's a good milestone, but now let's go for the next. Don't just be like, that was a good year, let's do that again. You were like, let's go. So I've kept that in my head of like, even now, 200 to 300 has to be way different than 100 to 200 or 0 to 200.
Gotta add more weights, bro. Add more weights. Can't just keep pushing the same weights.
And I'm gonna be fucking ripped by this.
What's the problem? Come on, Paula.
Turn it round. We've only got 2 more sessions. Turn your feet in. Keep your balance. Let's go.
She's gonna use this as an advert for her fucking thing.
And
Facts and Fine Line is going to be on 60 million followers.
60 million
You and Elon?
Elon. So in 2 years, let's say 2 years. So kind of the same thing. You said there about like the first year can't be the same as the last year, and you said like you want to. It's like a milestone.
You said that actually.
Yeah, I said, yeah. You remember what I said?
That was a really insightful thing that you said.
So what you said there was like it's like a milestone. I remember I spoke with Dennis recently, who's got like however many million on Insta and then even more on TikTok. And then I spoke to him for some advice. I hit 100K on Insta.
Yeah, let's go.
And I was like,
let's go.
Come on,
let's go.
Come on. And I was like, I just said to him like, so I've got here like. Can you give me some, like, here are my thoughts, can you give me some advice on what to do? And he said kind of that to me. He goes,
sick.
And he just goes, oh, so you hit your first 100K, nice. Just like that.
Yeah, and you're like, oh.
But he said it in a way of like...
Sunned you.
But like, it didn't fit, what it felt like was, okay, cool.
There's
like,
way more coming.
Cool, you've done the first thing. Like, let's not like that. Like, cool, let's not get gassed about this. Like,
don't dwell on the...
Yeah. And it was really cool. So I kind of, the second I heard that, I felt what you felt, and I've been playing this. And then this summer, I kind of just said to myself, look, like this is probably the last summer I've got in my art studio. I've been there for 2 years. I think we're going to get kicked out. The building's going to get refurbed next year. So I was like, cool, if it's the last summer, let me just do what I need to do. And I did. And I got the milestones and the things that I needed to. And kind of everything, literally up until, when did I buy the camera? Last
2 days ago?
Yeah, 2 days ago, yeah. I just bought my first like nice camera, and it was the last thing on my list to complete before the year was out. Like make use of my studio, hit 100K on Insta, exhibit at a fucking sick gallery, work with some kind of brand or company, and then get a computer and get a camera. And I've done
Which your art paid for.
Come on, which is
also worth. Like,
yeah, which is fucking bonkers. It's all been covered through art, which is nuts, and it's
let's fucking go.
Come on,
let's fucking go.
Come on,
let's fucking go. Let's fucking
come
go.
on. And I think now I'm not in it. Like now I'm in a position away from all the shit I've had to go through the last few years, and I feel comfortable and I feel steady. I feel really bold and brave about just asking for things and trying things and
like risk taking.
Yeah, like I feel like the more I get, it's like the more risk tolerant I get, which I assumed would have been the opposite. Because when you get things, you want to kind of keep it conservative and maintain them, right? But I feel more risk tolerant, and I think over the next 2 years, I think there are like 3 things that I want to achieve, and I think I'm going to achieve all of them.
So, can you say what they are so that we can
absolutely
put it out to the world?
So,
God, this is exciting.
So, first thing is I'm going to teach at a big art institution, which I'm actually, I think I could say now. Yeah, I think I can say now. It's going to be put through to advertising. So there's a big art school called the RA, Royal Academy of the Arts. It's a like big. It's in
big fucking deal.
Big fucking deal. Yeah. And I'm going to be doing a drawing workshop there, pop-up workshop next April, which is really cool. So after that, I think I'm going to really just explore the different types of institutions that I can teach at. Yeah. Because as much as I love making my own art, I really love teaching as well, and I want to keep that as part of my practice. The second thing is I'm going to do a live show.
Boom. Like exhibition? No.
No, like kind of. So it's like the idea is like this came from a conversation I had with Clara years ago, and she said, "Oh, you should put movement in your artwork." And it's that cliche thing of like, "Oh yeah, well I hate it when people just put paint on their shoes and fucking moonwalk on the canvas." And she goes, "No, you idiot! Like present it through movement."
Yeah, all right.
And I've been thinking about different ways to do that, which is where the camera and filming comes in about the art through movement. And if you're not familiar, basically I make a lot of drawings and paintings, and the idea is that I talk about the subject matter. So if I'm drawing or painting an animal, I will narrate a story about them, and it kind of engage people in the artwork. I want to do that live with live animals, and the workshop that I've got at the RA next year is drawing live animals.
It's a real shark.
Wow. So yeah, I want to do a live show where I'm doing some kind of presentation about the live animals in the room and drawing and at the same time and creating pieces for people. And then,
sorry, I'm actually like chasing after a cat. So this is wait. So this is wait.
And then knock the ink of the tail. Oh fuck!
It's just under the sofa, and you're like, so this is a cat. Sorry, that's just what popped into my head.
There are loads of things that won't work for sure. And then the third one is I'm going to make a TV show around the same concept.
Sick.
Yeah.
It's a TV show.
Yeah. So I'm going to do. I've got someone who wants to work with me at the moment, but the idea will basically be kind of like kind of the same concept I just said, but mixed with like imagine like Attenborough.
Like more wildlife.
Yeah, but kind of like an investigative thing, like Louis Theroux with kind of like Bob Ross. Like the idea is that I'm going around interviewing experts about animals.
When he said investigative, I was like thinking of like Ross Kemp. So I'm here with a cat. Sorry.
Isn't it Theroux?
Is it Theroux?
Yeah, Louis Theroux.
I don't know.
Theroux.
I never watch his shit anyway.
No.
But
like him.
But that guy.
Sorry.
But the idea would be me going and interviewing people, talking about different animals or things.
Like zookeepers or experts on the thing. Yeah,
exactly. And then making like a narrative for each episode about the animal or whatever. And then the latter half of the episode would be me finishing like a series of work around that thing, and then I'd lead the whole series up to an exhibition where you get to see the pieces of work I've made with the live animals live in the environment as well. But it'd be a show for people to watch.
Pretty sick.
We're gonna use that for the fucking advertising.
Come on.
The pitch.
Come on.
Genevieve.
Genevieve, let's go.
Wesh.
For the capsule, I think episode 400 we would have a team of people
and we're getting paid.
A team of people getting paid. Big up Leisha for
Big up all of us.
Sophia's like,
What the fuck, man?
No, but a team of people with like, kind of a bit.
And lights that aren't balanced against the radiator.
Yeah. But I think also, I don't know, for me it's like, I think that where the capsule is at right now is like a lot of the things that have happened so far have been, like because of your hard work and your investment. But I think there needs to be like a little bit of work that happens behind the scene to like what got us here is not what is gonna get us there. So I think in a sense like there's a lot of background structuring and like, things that need to happen in order to like achieve all the things that you want to achieve. So the things that I'm seeing / manifesting for the capsule is some funding, some sort of
we've had rejections and now we'd like an acceptance.
Yeah. I'm also seeing, kind of collaboration with like other kind of brands, other companies. I think the way that you've done, on the floor battle or the sessions, it's like more of these live events that also are like offering something different than like another battle that follows the same format as other battles. But I think like what you have done is like really cultivate kind of niche events that aren't quite like other things that are happening. So I'm seeing more of these things. So I think like in terms of the digital content is also more, more regular, more
structured.
Yeah, more regular, more structured, more live events, and just like different points of access where people can engage and just improving that.
Yep.
What? I'll say it. You look inspired.
No.
You look inspired.
Go.
Why
Keep
are
it.
you-
No, I don't want to do it right now. It's peer pressure. Go.
Whoa. Yeah, so I think it's like, although by episode 400, it's like, I don't see necessarily like, oh my God, we're gonna like have been doing this solid for 2 years, but more like there's gonna be a strong foundation, and it's gonna be like all of these things have been happening steadily and like, kind of building organically. And I think that that's something that I really like appreciate and sometimes don't see or don't recognize, but it's like I think that the way that people are engaging with the capsule is maybe not like the numbers are through the roof and we're not like at like 15K every episode, but I think the way that people are engaging is quite like significant.
It's
in the
more
way that
impact
they show,
than
or like they do show up in person when you do something, and it's like when you speak to people, there really is a impact in their lives. So I think that that's something that's quite special. So that's it for the capsule. For myself,
you're gonna learn how to speak into a mic before episode 400.
No, that's a goal for your episode 500.
Okay, cool.
Or
too ambitious.
Yeah, gotta set realistic goals if you want to achieve them.
Okay, cool. Can't wait to do that.
It's just because you didn't set it up properly.
I will murder you. Yeah, for you, become UFC world champion.
Come on.
Yeah.
Sell out your first comedy arena.
Yeah. It's like this. It's like this. It's like this.
Squeeze them in.
This.
Come on, you girl.
That I wanna take a.
You're still doing it to the left of the mic. How? It's like the mic is in her way, and she's like, "Oh, sorry."
No, but it's like if I speak there, then who am I looking at?
But put your mouth there and turn.
Okay.
Like a little swivel. Like a little swivel. Like a little swivel.
Well, you
like
could have just told me that.
Continue.
For myself, I want to take. I want to take an artist to touring internationally.
Let's go, Silk Boogie.
Yeah. I want to have my own company.
Oh.
Let's go.
What's the company?
What's it called? It's yours now.
Look at me, I am the captain now.
I'm the capsule now.
Yeah, I wanna run a company. I want to own a house.
Yes.
I want to
Better be doing that by fucking episode 100.
I think those are kind of the main things. I want to I don't know. I feel put on the spot, but yeah, these are my main goals. I think for now, by 2.5 years.
Sick.
Yeah.
Strong goals, man.
Strong goals.
Smoke it.
Yeah, I want to have my production company.
Hey, what was your idea?
Come on. Yeah, what was your idea?
Since there's a lot of fashion brands embracing street culture and charging through the nanas for it.
Nanas.
I thought, wouldn't it be dope if you're going around the world doing loads of different things at events, Capsule is.
Yeah.
I don't know why, I just see you guys just fucking doing, without the swearing and stuff like that, doing podcasts in different brands, shops.
Oh.
But wearing all the stuff.
Why
So,
don't
like-
you talk about fashion? Do you love fashion?
No, because fashion
don't know, why
brands
don't
would
I?
love to be like, see a bunch of dancers wear their gear at. Do you know what I mean? Like all
Yep.
these TikTok vids or Insta vids that's going viral. Like my brother sent me MT Pop at Red Bull
Oh, man.
yesterday. I was like, yeah, his name's MT. Like so many people send me stuff and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
I know what this is. This is this person. Go check it
Yeah.
out. But imagine for a marketing perspective, if brands were like, I don't know, I don't know, bro, any brand, bro, and you just you do the Capsule episodes, but instead
From
it's just
their
loads
shop.
of different brands being like, we'll host you this week, and here's a bunch of clothes you guys can wear.
Well, that's not a bad idea for future partnerships.
That's baller, bro.
And it's not even like
just looked and he was just like,
But you know what I mean? It's like, that is so baller. That's exactly like the type of pinpoint idea you need, which is because it's exactly how you started photography.
yeah.
You were like, oh yeah, you really love taking pictures of all your mates standing on rocks, innit?
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you love fucking fashion so much, man. Not fucking fashion. You love fashion. You love fucking
Oh, there was
fashion.
that one time.
There's a comma. You love fashion
Yeah.
so much. You have such an eye for it, and you always talk about it. Not always. You've often talked about it in terms of quite literally how it affects how you dance, like presentations, like even like stage crafting when you're looking at theatre pieces. Like you would be a really good platform for that.
Thank you.
you
Thank
don't
you.
even have to.
Thank you.
They wouldn't even have to advertise it. Like this is like it'd be nice. I can just imagine it like being set up in the shop and people walking in buying clothes or whatever. Well, noises, we'd have to figure that out. But logistics aside, people just walking up and being like, "Oh, what's this thing that they're talking about?" What's this?
Yeah,
Love that.
Yeah, it could be like a collaboration on like.
Sorry, I don't know where we were going. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. No, I agree, and I think it's something to think about more, but not necessarily right now. But yes.
Yeah.
Sick
Sick
idea.
idea.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
How do Red Bull get away with music licensing?
They license all the music and they pay for it. Yeah.
It's Red Bull, bro.
So did you watch the stream this year? For
No.
Dance Your Style? The top
I have a child.
the top 16 isn't live stream. They stream from the top 8 upwards.
Right.
And every track that the DJ is going to play from the top 8 upwards, they have to license and pay for.
Baller.
So
That's baller, bro. They're a drinks company.
Bowler.
Baller.
they got moolah.
That's actually
But
baller.
they've been doing that since like Red Bull, BC One, and all of that stuff as well.
Well,
Book one.
Yeah.
Book One.
Book
And I
one.
can't imagine it's like because. Well, I don't know. I'm not gonna fucking pretend to imagine, bruv.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Don't
think it's
pretend
the
to
most
imagine.
expensive thing.
Just
I think it's
imagine.
pretty expensive because the thing is with BC One, they've got music that they kind of, in a way, like buy and they put into a library and then they can use that whenever they want. The Dance Your Style is like popular music, so they have to pay like Mark Ronson or fucking Katy Perry, whoever. They have to license it like as if someone was doing.
But I don't
sample
think
of
it's the
it or-
same. Yeah, but I don't think. I'm not going to pretend to imagine. But I don't think it's the same as sampling something because you're making money. Like that specific track is like being used to make money off of, and as opposed to just like this license that. Because it's not the first time, Red Bull aren't the first people doing this.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to use this thing, you have to buy this license. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think the problem with Red Bull, because it's such a huge company and they know that, but they use, like the clip of MT Pop dancing to that Bangra song. Not only are they going to use that, like on stage, they're using it for their socials, for their YouTube, for their thing. They're going to use it to like market next year's Dance Your Style. So whoever's
song that is going, yeah, it's this much through the roof.
We need to ask Joe Budden. He would know, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would actually know,
Yeah,
and he
Joe
would
Budden.
have a issue with how much it was being charged.
You didn't do yours.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you didn't do yours.
Yeah, you didn't do yours. Yeah, do yours, Luke.
That's what we need the picture of her. So, okay, what is it by 300, 200, what did I say?
400.
400.
But
400.
sometimes you said 300, but it doesn't matter. Go.
Yes, so funding and like you said, the behind the scenes thing is a really important one because I feel like we do a lot of stuff, but it's built on a very shaky foundation at the moment because I've just been winging it a little bit, and we've done really well. But in order for things to, like you said, to build higher, we need to build the ground first before we can build upwards. Otherwise, we're gonna have a skyscraper that topples over.
Megalopolis.
And oh my god, yeah, I heard that was terrible. Wait, we'll talk about that after. And so that being able to have a bit more like money flowing through so that I can actually pay people to do jobs that are not like, I don't know what people's perception is, but so much of this is still unpaid or things that I'm doing for free or things that other people are doing for free. Oh, don't know. No, because people
You have
think,
to pretend and flex.
yeah. So it's like, I mean, the more I can pay people, the more I can do more stuff because I can be in more places at once if I can hire someone to go and do that. So more kind of money flowing through and like, you know, this makeshift equipment and things like that we can build up. I think I would like to work with more events. So that's like definitely next year and the year after. Like I want to work with more international events, and I've done a few already, but like partnerships, doing like live panel talks at the events. You know, them flying out the Capsule as a team to like cover the event in the way that like stunts would be flown out to cover an event based on like the strength of their brand as well as the media consultation thing, production thing. But like for us, it would, you know, I think we can cover a different lane to stance in the sense of we might not cover just the video, but we can do like the panel talks, we can do this, we can create content surrounding it. And yeah, one big thing, ambitious maybe to say in 2.5 years, but let's see.
Say it.
Is to have my own space.
Do it.
Permanent.
Oh, bro.
Space.
Yeah.
How ambitious, bro. That will happen.
Yeah.
I mean, shout out to Breaking Convention for supporting this episode.
Yeah, Breaking Convention!
Because they've put us up in this space once a week, and that's a big step already. So shout out to them, and we're going to be here partnering with them on a lot of stuff. You're going to see us working with Breaking Convention a lot more. But what I would love is like my own studio that I can like put the furniture in, decorate the walls, have like Capsule branding, have my own lighting set up, and like even rent that out. Like ideal, I mean, I've said this on the pod before, but ideal set it up would be like a podcast studio here and then another room which is like a photography video studio, and even, you know, if it was sick if there was like a dance studio as well, and we have a little complex where, and then there's like a, what do you call that, like a reception room. Like it would be sick if there was a place that was like somewhere in London where people could come and hang out
like this,
and like, yeah, but like you'd have the pod studio, you'd have the photography video studio, you'd have the dance studio where people could train and rehearse.
With the radio station.
Okay. And then you could have like an entryway with sofas and a fucking PS5 and a thing, so people could just come and hang and like,
it would be dancers.
Dream come true.
Stinking up my sofas. But yeah, it would be good to have a little hangout spot, you know, coffee machine.
What?
Fashion studio.
I don't know what that sound was that I just made, but have you considered like reaching out to your competitors and just being like, this collab, like Stance?
Yeah.
Stance,
so I actually met in Paris. I met Daniel, who runs Stance. Now we know each other. It's a bit easier to like chat to, and like we've spoken about potentially doing stuff together. I have to shout out Jimmy Udat, Hippo Mag. He's like, I would say, is the closest thing to the Capsule that I've seen on this side of the planet. Like, I don't know in Asia or, you know, or in America if they have similar things, but yeah, Hippo Mag in France is like doing for them what we're doing for the UK. So, and me and Jimmy, like we talk, well, not a lot, but like we talk often about stuff and compare notes and stuff. He's a really great person to have as like, how are you doing this? Because I want to do this, and we're both kind of building.
It's the same with like what Joe Rogan did for the podcast scene.
Yeah.
It's like everyone puts everyone on.
Yeah.
Do this.
And I also have to shout out the Ins and Outs pod, because they were like the first pod that I went on as a guest when I was starting this. Kane.
Yeah.
So, and what he said at the beginning, because I was like, I had just started my pod, and he was like, yeah, come on the pod and promote it on my pod.
Yeah.
And I was like, not surprised, but I was like, oh, that's really nice. But he set the tone from the beginning of like, yeah, bro, if you do your pod, it makes my pod bigger because we both like, you know, do promote this stuff and this way of this offering, let's say. So it's like even having Hippo Mag, now people are more familiar with what it is. Like if they see the capsule and they're from France, they're like, oh yeah, it's like Hippo Mag. So it like helps boost our shit as well. So there's some people as well in like, have you seen Ronnie's podcast, the B-Boy?
Right, no, I haven't.
Oh, he's got a podcast
I've seen
with
him
Red Bull.
hosting events, but yeah, I haven't seen him.
Yeah, he does a podcast now with Red Bull, and I met in India the guy. Shout out Min, he's a fucking dope dude. But he works on the podcast with Ronnie. He works for Red Bull in LA, and he works on the podcast with Ronnie. And we were talking about like collabing on that because Ronnie's obviously way different perspective to me on the dance scene, especially the breaking scene. It's like OG in the thing. I'm like not an OG and not in the thing. So it's like, it would be so sick to like collab somehow or work together on stuff. So that's another thing is like, yeah, building with like-minded people throughout the world. And the more I'm able to travel, the more I can meet these people. Like I didn't...
So it's going to happen. It's a byproduct of...
Hopefully, yeah. Like that's kind of part of my aims, but it's like, I can connect with people. Like I wrote to certain people on Insta. Like there's a filming company called No Limits in Germany. And like we spoke online like, oh, I love your stuff. Yeah, I love your stuff. Okay, cool. But then it's like having dinner and hanging out in India, it's like we connect way better. And then it's easier to go, all right, let's work together on some shit.
It'd be interesting to like reach out to like the team behind Wicked, someone in Wicked, and be like, you had a lot of dancers on your thing.
Yeah. We should do some like promo and that's another thing I want to do is like, and it's getting there. People are reaching out to be like, I have this thing coming up. Can I come on the pod and promote it? You know, which is kind of what I want. But it's like, you know, like the Breakfast Club and all those radio. It's like when a rapper's releasing an album, they do the little tour. I'd love this to be numbers wise, reaching enough people that people are like, well, okay, we need to do BBC News. We need to do this. We need to do the capsule to get the dancers in, you know, and like, that's part of their like promo run on, you know, if you're running Just to Boo UK, it's like, we need to promote it on the pod, you know, so they come in or whatever.
It's also like, you kind of need to do that to begin with, right? So like, let's say there's a big event or events that are coming up that you're going to cover.
Yeah.
Then it would be worth you going on other people's to promote the fact that you're going to be covering these events and doing these things so they could come and watch your thing, right? So it'd be like Andrew Schultz going on, Bobby Lee's or Joe Rogan's, whatever, and then you go and watch his podcast as well rather than just watching his stand-ups. Just like, you do that and then eventually you're one of these people that people come on to be able to promote their stuff, you know?
100%. Yeah. So yeah, let's see where we get to. But I will say a huge thank you again to all the loyal. You're really a loyal listener if you're still listening now.
Come up.
But
Come on.
Thank you to everyone that's been tuning in for the past 200 episodes.
200.
Couldn't do it without you.
No.
Thanks to everyone that's been engaging with the capsule.
Yeah.
That's been following the Insta, that's been looking up our stuff on YouTube.
We love you.
Come to the Own the Floor battles or any of our events or any of that stuff.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, all the feedback, all the comments, all the likes, all the submissions, it all makes a huge difference. Even like people that, I mean, to be honest, this is probably the biggest impact. Like people that come up to me at events and are like, oh, listen to this, it's really cool. Like being it, like this is just to a little mini flex, but also it's true that it made me feel good. It's like, I had a short span of traveling this summer where I went Montreal, then I went to Paris twice, and then I went to India.
Wow, that's a big flex.
It was a big flex. And then each one that I went to, so I went to Montreal and it's like I was signing up for the battles and people were like, oh, you're the Duke from the podcast, blah, blah, blah. Or like they'll recognize me. And then it happened in Paris. I went into the prelims of the Beyond Doubt event. Me and Lewis were in there for like 4 minutes and two guys came up, excuse me, are you from the Capsule? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, oh, we love it, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, to them, I was like, oh, safe, thank you. And then they turned away and I was like, they know who I am.
You from the Capsule? Fuck off!
But yeah, like, I mean,
we need to get you to there by episode 800.
Even being in just being sick of it. Oh, here's my autograph. Fuck's sake. No, but like, yeah, and then in India, like we're at the first party and then people coming over being like, oh, like last week's guest Eddie, I met him through, like he just came over and was like, oh, I love what you do with the pod. Oh God. That's how you know when we need to wrap up. So yeah, it means a lot. People that come over, I don't know how I come across when you say these things, but it does mean a lot to me. It helps me to keep pushing, and I'm like, oh, there's actually fucking people listening to this. So Abe, I'm going to ask you to sing us out.
Abe, before you do,
Sing song.
English or Spanish?
Español.
The first one, 2 movies.
The what? First 2 movies.
TikTok thing.
Oh.
Oh, first one to move is. Oh, so they're not moving.
Equally.
You know what I love about that video? It's all these fucking grown men that just are like they're having the worst day, and someone's just first one to move his hand. They're like, what? They just freeze. Yo, we're so dumb. Men are so dumb.
Oh God.
All right,
I
well,
love us.
guys. Most important thing, if you want to help us, you
Yeah.
want to contribute.
Follow, like, and subscribe.
Follow, like, and subscribe is to go and subscribe to the Instagram or the Capsule membership tiers thing. But also, the most important thing is tell a friend, send this podcast to a friend, send the Capsule page to a friend, and also write a comment in and wish us happy 200. And also, if you watch to the end,
What do they get?
A code word.
Code word
for them to comment.
For them to comment
is what?
Go for it.
Spinach cream.
Spinach cream.
Spinach cream. Spinach
If
cream.
you comment spinach cream in the comments on
We know you're a real
Spotify
one.
or YouTube, we know you're real.
And then the next time you see the Capsule live, he will
Spinach cream.
Nice.
Bye, guys.
Oh Lord.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know why that became a thing. I don't know where that came from. I just remember like him starting the podcast and in my head going, oh bro, I'm so tired, I have no energy. And just being like, just do something. Because like, everyone else was like giving energy and I was just sitting there like that because I was stressed because of the train. Just want to get down on the ground and you trained. Oh, I'm explaining the thing that you already know.
Bro, literally, you know what it is? The second you do shit like that, I don't even think.
You just jump.
I'm in it. Whatever it is that you want to do, I'm in it.
Oh, bro, I think it's that thing that you said. That
I should check it's recorded.
when I was a kid, and you're like, I'm never making it through. Like
No, it's good. Yeah, and I'll
my calendar.
change it with.
Oh, good lord.
Good lord.
Chippies. Have you seen that guy?
Yeah, what's that from?
Chips. There's these two who cook food on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And then they have like different guest ones, like Thea Borman or whatever. And it's like they're just super.
Have you seen it?
What's that?
What was my one? That's hilarious. Have you seen this? Stop doing that to people.
What phone is that? Is it Samsung?
Yeah, the same one I had from before.
What Samsung is it?
S23 Ultra.
Shit.
I get my new one.
That's good. Is it twice 24?
I'm so sorry for screaming.
So good.
My brain didn't decipher that.
Is it the number 24 Ultra you're getting?
I don't know yet. Well, I just have it upgrade. I don't know what it will be. But.
You're editing this right now. You're editing the sound right now.
I also want to join his sound.
You're editing
I want
the
to play this at the
sound
same
right
time
now.
and just understand
And just put it
that we're
at the
here together.
beginning. Put it at the beginning of the video.
And then this is
as
something
the
we
intro.
can do.
This is the intro.
And I'm
song.
eating crisps.
This is the intro.
Chips.
song. This is the intro. song.
Okay, go.
Capsule.
The video is still recording if you want to listen to that.
Capsule song. It's the beginning. I'll just sing off key.
Okay.
It's a capsule song. From to episode 200. 200. 200. Yo, that's the GoPro's got a large battery. It's not even halfway down.
Isn't it? Do you remember that kid?